Hey y'all, this is Sam Ashby, and this is the third episode of Spontaneous Humor Combustion. Here with me again, I have Guy Frizzell and Jonathan Craig, and our special guest tonight is the founder of the Epic Comedy Hour here in Huntsville, Alabama, Justin Ledlow.
That's like the only credit to my name. It's like, hey, you founded a show.
Dude, that's honestly, like, I was trying to think, what other shit has he, like, done? I think that's it.
He started a show, and then he printed a bunch of shit and a bunch of jobs nobody knows about, and then he went to Atlanta to do that. So,
well, I want to talk a lot about. God damn it! This already sounds like fucking professional shit. I don't want to sound like that. But
do you want to do this like inside the actor's studio?
No, I don't at all. Not
Mr. Ledlow.
Yeah.
You want to know
where were you? What was your father's name? What was your mother's name?
What's your favorite curse word?
Have you ever watched Inside the Actor's Studio?
Yeah.
I don't know. He asked those questions.
Yeah, he asked what your. Fuck it. Never mind. That's not even part of the podcast.
When you think of your mother.
Wait, you get to boner.
What was the first time you saw your mother's vagina hair?
But
James Lipton, he does look like Freud a little bit. So
87.
Justin Ledlow, shower or grower?
But what I was going to ask you is, the first question I always ask everybody is, how did you get into comedy?
I used to fuck Robin Williams.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a very good in to comedy, literally.
No, ow, shit. I just hurt myself on a chair. Visual gags.
Very dangerous, this podcast, people.
So, how I got into comedy was this was like summer of 2010. Last Comic Standing was on when it was that last final season. And I was watching it.
Shout out to
I was watching it and I was like, you know what? Natasha Leggero's fucking hot.
Yes.
So why don't I become a comedian and I can possibly finger bang her in the back of the improv?
Is it Natasha Leggero or Greg Giraldo? No, it was the other guy that's
Andy Killer!
Well, yeah. What's his name again?
Andy Killer.
Yeah, Andy Killer.
No, I was watching that, and then I went to dinner with some friends, and I was telling them like some of the jokes that I'd heard on the show.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my god, it's so funny," and blah blah blah. And I was like, "Do you guys think that I could do something like that?" And they were like, "Well, yeah. Like, you've always been funny around us. I don't see why not."
Yeah.
So.
Were you at dinner with your parents?
Do what?
I said, were you at dinner with your parents?
Yeah, they're very supportive. They were like, we're your friends too.
Reunion.
We're your friends too. So we're also, your parents, but we're also your friends.
Yeah.
My brother was in the car, like, he can't do that shit. I think I wrote a few jokes and then found out about Monkey Speak up at Fine Monkey on Friday nights. Went up there and did 5 minutes, knowing that it was... Actually, I take that back. Went up there and told a joke that I had heard. A joke, like an internet joke.
Yeah.
And just to see, like, okay, if I were to do this, can I stand in front of people and deliver something and it be funny? And I did that and got laughs and enjoyed it. And then came back the next month with my own material.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes of looking back on it. Thank you.
Excuse me.
Looking back on it, the worst fucking material ever. I have none of those jokes. They are gone forever.
You got laughs though, didn't you? I bet.
I got a couple of laughs.
I killed it at Monkey Speaks this week.
Did you go to Monkey Speaks?
I killed it at Poetry Jam, guys.
Yeah. Monkey Speaks is a horrible place to do stand-up comedy.
Yeah. No. I mean, like, I knew that, and like when I went up there, I had printed out a sign that said comedian. But I had misspelled it, like I did comedy A-N.
A-N.
And then I did the Microsoft Word red squiggly line underneath it. And like wore that around my neck, and then went up on stage, and like they saw it and they kind of giggled, and I was like, look, I know you guys don't do a lot of stand-up around here, but if you'll just indulge me for a couple of minutes and let me, and they like got some nods, and then I took it off and like did my actual set. And was immediately just like, oh, this is pretty cool. Come back next month, do it again. Next month was fucking terrible. No laughs. Crowd was dead as hell.
Did you do the comedian thing again?
No.
They didn't.
They didn't.
I honestly think...
That was
you're not doing that. Yeah.
But I think I'd said something like, I came up here and did this last month, and it got like a pretty good reaction, so let me try this again.
Yeah.
So that night was awful, and I was like, fuck it, not coming back. That's when I met Tim Benton. Actually, no, I think I met him the first night that I did it up there, and then he was there the next month.
So, did you go to this by yourself? Like, just like, I'm just going to try this out? Like, you didn't have any friends?
No, my girlfriend at the time came with me that first time and that second time.
Okay.
And my cousin came that second time, too.
You didn't have to, I mean, your girlfriend, your cousin, we get it.
This is Alabama. This is Alabama. Like, I know I live in Atlanta now.
It's like
he's all upper class and shit. Oh,
right, yeah.
Now I
So,
my aunts. My aunt.
My auntie.
My auntie Nene Leaks.
So you meet Tim Benton there. Is that the first one or the second time?
I think I met him the first time, and he came up and was like, I used to do stand up out in LA in the early '90s, and like when the comedy boom was happening, and he was like, I know you didn't get much of a response, but keep coming back and do it again. You know, I liked it. Blah blah blah. Tim's been like supportive ever since.
Yeah.
Tim's a great guy.
He's awesome.
Tim, if you're listening, we're all
incredible.
blowing you right now.
Yeah.
We have like
I want to have him on podcast.
We have printed out pictures of you that we're jizzing on as we speak.
Well, I mean, it's more like pre-cum.
Actually, it's Bill Clinton, but it's close enough.
So I think after that second one that went so bad, I was like, nope, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
And then when did I start doing? I'm trying to think about when I did it the next time. I think it was when we started going to Humphreys. So it was me, Tom, Nicole, Steven, Landon, and Steinhauser would come out a couple of times. We'd go to Humphreys and on this patio.
Yeah, well,
2000.
Like what time?
It was spring 2011. And I had emailed. Okay, I got to back up. God damn it, I'm terrible at telling stories. January.
And being on podcast.
January of 2011. Paul Provenza was at that atheist meet thing, and I got to do it. What the fuck?
No, I'm not gonna talk shit.
What?
No,
Keep going. Good story. Keep going. Good stuff.
No.
Keep going. Revenge at the atheist convention.
All right.
Just write it down, whatever you want to do.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. This is
just ignore that part.
Untrustworthy thing I've ever seen in my life. Or writing. You know what?
Inside joke.
But that goes back to
folks. Even I don't know what's going on right now. So.
Should have been at the bar
last night. I had to read that like 3 times.
Oh yeah. Oh shit! Really? Oh shit! Okay. I want to hear about this after. Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely an off podcast discussion. So told him that I was like trying to do stand up and everything, and then he like invites me to do like 5 minutes before him that Sunday. And I told him about like the comedy scene and everything here, and he pretty much told me like I needed to get something started. So I like the next day I emailed Flying Monkey about starting a show. They didn't get back to me until like June. That was like it took like 6 fucking months just to hear from them.
Oh really?
Yeah. That's why it took so long to get something started.
They're slow.
So July comes around, we have the Epic Comedy Hour, and
so you started in July. So you're
July 2011.
We started the show in July
Epic,
2011. Yeah, but I mean I started stand up like.
Yeah. Sure.
Am I like jumping like way ahead?
No, you're not. I'm just trying to get. For me personally,
stuff I don't even know. So
for me personally, I just want to get the time frame down because I know when I started. The first Epic show I ever went to was May 2012.
Okay.
That was the first one I went to. Then the next, like 3 weeks after that, I did my first open mic set. So I wanted to tie everything that we've done together. You know what I mean?
May 2012 was the last one I did before I moved to.
That was the last one. Yeah, I think it had like Florida on it and
that was Florida,
Joe Raines.
Jake Head, Joe Raines, Mike McCall.
Yeah. I got the poster for it in my room.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so cool.
I'm fucking.
Do you want me to sign it? I can go sign it.
Nah.
Do you want me to jizz on it?
I'll
jizz
get
on it.
Florida to sign it.
Hey, now oh my god! Why don't you let me sign it?
I absolutely will talk about that situation if we want.
Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, that's actually something. That's a question I have, but we'll talk about
What's
that.
What's the question? Okay.
No,
there's a lot of questions I have.
This is gonna be a long podcast.
It really, we're only 10 minutes in. Fuck.
No, keep on with your story. Come on.
Okay. So the first
about
show. Humphrey, we're at Humphreys between the first show. That's where we were at.
Okay, so Humphreys we did probably like anywhere between like February to the first Epic and Partners a couple of times, the gay bar. which Stephen Claybrooks loved.
But I don't ever see him there.
No one ever sees Stephen.
I see him all the time.
He's in a gay underground chamber, blowing dudes and playing with their balls.
No, I always see him walking the streets. Not like a street walk.
Well, he's homeless.
I mean, always see him walking.
He normally rides his bike.
Yeah.
I don't see him on bikes.
That's because he's on dikes. I don't even.
His own dick.
Yeah. So we did Humphreys, and Humphreys was absolutely terrible because we were outside at a patio.
Oh, y'all did it outside?
Yeah, we did it on the patio because it was that was where they did.
Summer.
Monday nights was the open mic, and it was music open mic. So we just went out there and we told Marge, let 5 of us go up, give us a 30-minute block, and we'll all go up.
And we buy her a shot of tequila.
Were you doing it also?
I came in July, right before the Epic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's we were at one of them. I hated them all. I hate open mics. Period. I just can't stand them. So
I like open mics.
we're at one, and we all get done, and Thaddeus is there. This is before I even knew who Thaddeus was. Goes over there and talks to Marge and is like, "Hey, can I go up real quick?" So Thaddeus just runs on stage and does the fastest 2 minutes I have ever seen. Just boom, 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 boom. And I was just where the hell did this guy come from?
Yeah.
So I went over and told him, I gave him a flyer for the show and everything. I was come out to this, blah, blah, blah. So that was kind of, I think, the start of everybody who wasn't already within our little group of friends knows that we were doing it. Yeah. So that was when people were jumping in on it. But
I was there that night. I was too scared to go on stage.
Were you there?
Yeah. But
well, I'm just that's interesting to me because the very first live comedy show, like I said, I ever saw was Epic Comedy Hour, May 2012, with Florida.
God, I had just gotten over pharyngitis, which was
you actually. I remember you were on stage and you're like, guys, I don't feel well. You said that, yeah.
I'd been in the ER literally 3 days before that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I had gotten this terrible flu-like, strep-like kind of thing.
Yeah. And
felt shitty for a week and a half, and went to 2 different doctors. They didn't do anything, and then ended up in the ER because both doctors fucked up whatever it was, and they told me what it was.
Cunts.
They're terrible.
Cunty doctors.
I don't like doctors.
I was like, hey, I have a comedy show to do.
That show sucks.
Do you guys want to not let me die here?
So I can do my job.
I remember that.
I had a job interview during that sickness too, on the phone with a company in Texas, and they were I was telling them, I was like, yeah, I'm sitting in a doctor's office parking lot right now because I'm sick. And they were like, oh, do you want to redo this some other time? I was like, no, I need to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Because I had that company I was working for had just shut down the week before that Epic. So me being sick was my leave of that office. So.
But my thing was that was the first show, that was the first live comedy anything I've ever seen ever. I saw that, I was this is awesome. I was like, I gotta do this because for the past maybe 2 years I've been wanting to do it. I just had the ball, I didn't have the balls to do it, but there's always a time frame where you write jokes and shit. I'm going to do this one day eventually, but you don't do it. Then you eventually get the balls to do it, and then first time I did it was June 14th, 2012. My mom's birthday. I didn't call her to say happy birthday. That's another story. But that's not even fun.
At the Cove.
At the Cove. Oh, you weren't there. You were there. You were hosting.
That's when
that was when Tom was in Florida for his.
That was during a time when I quit coaching.
Yeah, I think Thad was there too.
He might have been there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Thad was there, and he was I said because I had mentioned something the reason how I found out about the Cove was through Comedy Mayhem, through your shit, and I think Brandon.
It's my shit. You found my shit?
Found your shit. And it said, come do comedy.
My shit
was
very,
it was very prosthetic and prosthetic. I don't fucking know. I'm drunk.
Prosthetic?
And
I have fake poop.
So
Sam's had a beer.
I haven't had any alcohol inside me all day. I don't know what you're talking about.
Alcohol is your gay lover.
Alcohol is my...
Alcohol.
Alcohol.
Fine, I'll laugh at that.
Alcohol.
I'll be the guy that laughs at
LCHAH.
Okay. All right. Well,
are we doing alphabet? Stop.
I burned my mouth today, top of my mouth on some crystals. Just only had 2 crystals. They were bacon cheese crystals.
Oh shit!
But they were
I had no clue what you were talking about. I was like, what the fuck is
You burn your mouth on a woman named Crystal?
They're like,
I thought you like had some Crystal Rock candy. Or something.
like I have to kill. Like if I go back and work too early, they're like, why is this guy back at work? So I had to kill some time. I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop here, get a couple crystals.
Do they not have GPS on those things?
No, not yet.
Yeah, it's so terrible that you would deliver mail on time. That's such a fun.
It's just like I don't want to get back to the office too early because then they'd be like, okay, well, why don't you go back out?
Come back out and go look in the mailbox and see if it's still there.
It's like no, it's like go help this person. I was like, God damn it, I got a podcast to do.
Go
They're like,
help.
what's a podcast? And I go, I don't know.
Go help. How do you go help?
Like go take part of someone else's route and deliver it for them.
You like meet them and take it off their truck?
Yeah, like
oh, that's shitty.
Yeah, I've had done that.
Oh.
That's what I do last.
If I was that person, I'd be pissed off. I'd be like, "You're taking fucking hours away from me." Like,
Well, they're like, well, no one wants to be out there at fucking 8 o'clock delivering mail too.
You guys stop sending stuff by mail. Email's a thing, you guys.
right.
Yeah, because I don't want a job.
All you old ladies that are listening to this,
Save the
get on,
earth.
get on the Facebook.
You heard me of email.
Get on the Facebook.
You hear me, Grandma?
Speaking of email, guys, we have a Google Voice account, and you can leave us a voicemail, not an email. And if you guys have any questions ever for the podcast, just call this number.
We need your questions.
We need your questions because we don't know what to say all the fucking time. But call this number and leave a voicemail. I don't fucking know if it works right now because I don't have my minutes on my cell phone.
Give me back my minutes.
So
It might work.
I think it still does.
What's the number?
It's the number is 931-532-0618. Again, it's 931-532-0618. And just call that and leave a voicemail. And if you have any questions, I always try to post it once on the profile. I think I did once for this one too. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
You did.
Yeah.
931, is that like New Mexico?
It's Tennessee.
Oh.
It's Fayetteville.
That's where,
So.
yeah.
It's
But I haven't checked to see if we got any voicemails for this
a game
one.
of horseshoes.
I can check later on.
That's a Tennessee joke. The song.
Oh, man. So, talking to Justin Ledlow of Epic Comedy Hour. We're having fun. And is that funny, God, to you?
No.
He's not having fun.
I like pretend contempt.
That was hard to say.
God damn.
Does that make it right?
He can't even say the name of the podcast, so.
The marathon podcast and everybody's drunk already. I'm just like mispronouncing words.
I'm not drunk. I just don't know how to say things.
You just don't talk good.
Well, like, I have teeth that get in the way.
Thank
Talk
you
well.
for correcting.
I have, like, fat jaws and big teeth.
Fat gal.
And fat balls.
Fat balls.
It's like my jowls.
Hey, let's not talk about balls, okay?
Oh, sensitive
So
subject.
Let's talk about balls.
Let's talk about ball.
Let's talk about balls.
How's that ball go?
The ball is... Man, you know...
Hey, so, I mean,
It's
you want to talk
become-
about, like, was you born that way? I mean, can we talk about it?
Born that way, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Born that way.
Because, okay, look,
I know you
that
talk
way.
about it, like, on your stand-up.
Let's
I don't
clear
know
the
about
air,
that.
people,
Yeah. Okay.
about
Yeah.
Justin
Stand
Ledlow's
up.
ball.
I've tried
Yeah,
a couple
you
times,
talked
and I
about
did
it.
it homegrown.
I heard
but
it. That's
kinda-
the only time I ever heard you do that.
No, I've heard you do it at Epic, I think.
I might have. I might have.
I was surprised by the ball, actually.
Or maybe I just heard, like, a bunch of girls
So-
talk about it. I don't know.
Exactly. Because here's what happens. Like, girls find out, and the first thing they do is they're just like, oh,
Can we see?
can I see it? Like, no shit.
That's an awesome
It
pickup
is
line,
a
dude.
fucking awesome pickup line. So, yeah, and
The taste
and
is
like,
gonna move. Wait.
and I literally told girls, I'm like, all right,
You leave it on the
if you
I wouldn't eat that.
if you see it, you're never gonna unsee it. This is gonna stick in your
like
Is
head.
it bad?
For-
Really?
No, it's not bad. It's just weird looking.
It's like
it's
the Ark of
okay.
the Covenant.
I'm trying to
It is
picture
it
it in
is-
my mind.
It is one ball.
You're trying to picture his balls
Yes.
in your mind.
I am. I'm like looking, like waiting for it to
just
magically
like come out of the bottom of my shorts.
Yes.
Just Google one
Do you?
ball.
Well, I mean, do you have like another, like the other side is
Okay.
empty,
All right.
or
So
you don't even
let
have
me
that side?
let me back up. What it was is the left one was undeveloped, so the doctors took it out because they knew if they'd left it in, it could have caused problems later on. Because
When you were like a baby or
I was
like older?
18 days old.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, that was my first surgery. I have a big scar
it's a
like right
hellacious
across my
Ball sack.
area right here. Actually, no, they
Pelvis.
cut into here and went in through there.
Oh.
Like they didn't even go like
That's
they didn't just like
pedophile.
cut the sack open and then just like pull it
Yeah, I
out.
want to see all of you.
Yeah, they were just like, we love this baby. We're gonna score
like
him
a
for life.
prize claw.
Exactly. So the sack for 2 is there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, but it's just 1 in there. So what I
Does
like
it go
to
to
So you look like you got grandpa.
no,
balls.
it's just
stays
in
on
the
that one
center.
side.
No, it's in the center. It just hangs in
The
the center.
saggy skin.
What I try to describe it to
flap.
people is try to imagine the pendulum of a grandfather clock. It just swings.
It's kind of making my balls hurt.
No
It
double
still
occupancy.
it still hurts if I get hit in it. Like it's still
Yeah,
just a
I
sense.
will.
Oh yeah, it's a ball.
And it's very large too. So
Everybody meatball. Oh, fucking
Compensation.
I think so. Like
Yeah.
I think like evolution kicked in, and my body was just like, there's not another one here. I have to grow more than I should.
Like, if you're,
So
are you able to have kids?
Yeah.
Okay, so like if your
Everything's
kids
cool.
say, "Where do babies come from?"
I'll
Ball.
say my ball.
My ball.
Not my
It's
balls.
like, let me show you.
Jimmy said his daddy came from his balls.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jimmy's right because he did, and I didn't. Or you didn't.
Oh,
Whatever.
shit.
Never thought we'd talk about ball.
One ball.
We'll talk about whatever we want to talk about.
I like talking about balls.
I like talking about
My favorite
Especially Justin's ball.
person. I don't know what he was, but Ballsack.
Speaking about balls, it takes a lot of balls to do stand-up comedy, doesn't it, guys? Hey, we're back! Hey! Spontaneous Humor Combustion. It's spontaneous, but I don't
live
combust.
from 406. Actually, I shouldn't give out your address on the air.
Oh, it's fine. 406 Humes Avenue Northeast.
What?
Huntsville, Alabama.
Mail you a letter. You can deliver it to yourself.
I think seriously,
now,
all the
now
people.
nobody's gonna call. They're gonna just show up and be like, "Can we be part of the podcast? We sit in the back."
I've got a pit bull, okay? It's like a gun that you pet.
Are you black?
It's a Bill Burr joke.
Only his ball is black.
Speaking of black, T-Cell. Okay.
My love.
My love, everybody.
When I did that, and I walked out into the hallway after that set. She was like, "I'm gonna kick the shit out of you. What the fuck you picking on me for?" I was like, "I'm not." And she was good.
She's
about it.
awesome.
She said that to everybody.
She was a good
She,
sport.
I said nigger in one of my jokes. I'm not doing it again because Jonathan told me this. Like I did it at Olivia's, and I said it like 2 times. The joke is
Said
it's
5 times.
5 times.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
He
You
kept
said
saying-
nigger 5 times?
He said it for his joke, and then like he was so drunk, he
I
didn't
was
realize he
drunk.
said it. He just kept repeating it. Like he was resetting up that part of the joke like 5 times.
I don't even remember. I
Well,
was there.
the joke is like people squat over toilets in Fayetteville, Tennessee, because they want to stand up for what they believe in, and they just write shit like "fuck nigger" on the bathroom stalls. It's not funny. And
No,
then-
I think it is. It made the CD. It made the cut for the CD.
That's true.
It did.
But the reason why I made the CD is because I had an ad-lib line that said, "You can loosen up your buttholes now," and everybody fucking laughed.
There was
at that.
a
I don't
black
know.
guy, and he was at that point. He's like, "Oh, I can loosen my butthole. Cool."
You like said that?
Like,
The reason,
direction.
but it was funny. Like I was thinking about that. Like maybe they think that white people get raped by black people in prison. Like that's why I said loosen up your buttholes. I don't fucking know.
No, I just think he takes
Wow,
direction well.
that
That's-
went way.
Yeah, I was gonna
that
say
was-
like that jumped.
That.
Wow.
Went from shitting at toilets.
Now
to
you are
Walmart
not allowed to
prison.
say that word.
Yeah. That's borderline.
I don't know what's going through your mind.
It's like
Anyway,
when I was doing Homegrown and like I was talking about Django in Atlanta,
yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like, what? Yeah, because they say that in the movie so much, and I like looked at T-Cell and was like, I'm not gonna say it. I'm just gonna look where I think that you are.
The
And so-
dark void in the
Yeah.
Oh
eyes.
yeah. And I seriously could not fucking see her. I was just like,
You
like,
can just
I
hear
could
her.
hear your voice.
Oh,
and I have
God.
no clue where you are. I'm gonna kick your ass after the show.
Hey, we love you, T-Seal. Did we say that?
We love you. T-Cell.
Accidental racism. The other day I was delivering mail and I walked into a building and there was a black, like it was like a rec center, and I was delivering the mail and like my eyes were like really adjusted to the bright sunlight, and they were black and they were wearing black clothes and I couldn't see them. And they said, "Hey," and I was like, I looked both ways and I was like, "Oh, hey," and then I went, "I'm sorry, I didn't see you. It's really bright outside." And,
my God.
And then when I left, I was like, "Oh my god."
Did you tell them make sure they smile next time?
Oh, that's racist.
So,
They had their eyes closed when they came to the door.
Guys, this
I
this
could not
podcast. I want to say, Spontaneous Humor Combustion is pro equal rights.
Yeah. I mean, I live in Atlanta. I wouldn't have.
He lives in Atlanta. We live in Alabama, which is not very equal rights, but we
we started equal rights.
We love black people. We love people of all races, all colors.
Okay, so like by your logic, guy, we started equal rights by being so shitty towards black people that they had to take a stand.
They built through to the other side.
So we sprayed them with fire hoses.
But really, we did. I mean, come on. I wasn't here when it happened, so I didn't.
I wasn't here for World War II either, but I fucking hate Nazis.
Let me ask, because Guy's not from Alabama originally. I'm not. Neither is Sam. Are you?
Oh yeah, born and raised Huntsville. Yeah.
Huntsville.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I went to, my parents live over here in Maysville.
Yeah,
I was 5 minutes from here. So.
And you went to Hazelgrave for a while too?
Oh, I graduated from there.
What a shitty
4 years.
school.
What year did you graduate?
04.
And that's where I went too. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
2000.
04. Wow.
Mm-hmm. 26 years young.
Hey.
There you go.
I was gonna say something, and I totally forgot what it was.
Something about
Go Trojans.
You mean the condoms?
No, they were like.
Actually, no. Trojans have been fucking disgusting, actually, because they're all like.
So about the football team?
I'm talking about the volleyball players up there.
Oh yeah.
The what? That's what?
I use the Durexes.
The volleyball.
I don't use condoms.
Not anymore.
Even when I had to use condoms, I know you should use condoms, but it was. Well, I didn't get much sex, so I guess.
Fuck condoms.
But yeah, I didn't use them that often. It was like, is it okay not to use a condom? Yeah, it's okay.
Man,
I just.
One of these?
We're taking drink orders right now on Spontaneous Humor Combustion. I know I'm good for now. I'm trying to let this massive amount of Pepto I took settle in.
Sure.
Yeah, Sam.
I have doo-doo problems.
Yeah, definitely. Justin's already pooped once.
I pooped right when I got here. I just walked in and said, "Hey, where's your bathroom?"
Thank you.
Because it's kind of good. No, I totally forgot. I had some point that I was gonna make about something.
It's probably a lie.
This is probably why.
That's what my grandmother would say.
That's what my grandmother would tell me.
It's a lie.
If you forget,
it's probably a lie.
It's probably a lie. She would tell me every time she fucked me.
No.
That's my mother jokes, but different.
Hey.
Oh.
So how about that? How about that Jimmy Kimmel, guys? I meant to say Fallon.
I want to talk about that
because Kimmel, Fallon's taking
Tonight Show. He's moving it back to. The thing that he's moving it back to NYC, which I think will be interesting.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
I think it'll be good too, and I really think it'll help boost comedy again. In terms
Where's it at now?
It's in LA.
Santa Barbara. Yeah. Burbank, yeah.
Wasn't it also where Kimmel's at? Was Kimmel in NYC?
I think so.
I think Kimmel's in
But
LA.
Letterman's in NYC.
See, the whole thing about that bothers me. It doesn't bother me, but I think
you
shitty.
sleep over it?
Yeah, no. Like Conan O'Brien, when he took over Jay Leno, the show, the Tonight Show,
briefly,
they made him move from New York to LA, and now he's still in LA doing it on TBS. But all of a sudden, now they're like, okay, now we can do it in New York because Jimmy Fallon's doing it, and they were going to produce it by SNL.
How long ago was that? Like a year?
Yeah, it's been a little over a year now, but now they're like, hey, we're going to let SNL produce it. We're going to move it back to New York. I mean,
I think they learned from their mistakes. I think they know they fucked up.
But they kind of don't acknowledge that they gave it to Conan. They're like, Jay Leno's retiring, and he's on top.
Well, it's not that they can give it back to Conan. He'd be like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, Conan wouldn't even want it. I don't think he's. Have you seen Conan O'Brien Can't Stop?
Yeah, that was
I watched good stuff. I think I watched the whole thing.
You watch the whole thing, and you're just like, this guy just wants to do his own thing.
Yeah,
so he doesn't. I don't even think he wants
the stage show. I mean, he could do that.
He's in Atlanta this week. Did you see him?
Yeah, he was there. Yeah.
Did you go to it?
No.
I watched. I'm friends with somebody who was on ECH, John Michael Bond, on Facebook, and he said that I think he performed at one of the writers' night things there or something.
Yeah, that was my county ex-girlfriend's open mic.
I saw that. I saw that she made the event page or something. I was like, is that? I thought that was Justin's.
Yeah. She's the one who saw me at Relapse with another girl and put her drinks on my tab. And when I went to close my tab out, my tab was almost $40, and I was like, okay, not paying for this. Me and my other girl here only had 2 beers, so take all that off, and she did. And then I got upstairs and had cell phone reception. I had a smiley face text from Sarah. Like, she fucking knew. And then went home and then got a Facebook message from her saying, well, it looks like we've moved up in the world. I'm fucking guys with 2 testicles, and you're fucking fat improv chicks. And I wanted to be like, oh, so when you say you moved up in the world, all you did was upgrade from 1 ball to 2. Your life's not really all that better. You didn't really do anything all that better. And then I like unfriended her and blocked her and everything. And then she texted me and said, texted me at like 3 in the morning saying, hey, I didn't know what it was like to date a liar. Thanks for ruining 2 months of my life. And I was like, oh, 2 months. Yeah. Can't get those 2 months back.
Spontaneous dirty laundry combustion. Here we go.
Welcome to Dish.
If you shit on me, I will gladly shit on you back. Yeah. So I really
think that's a good philosophy.
And she's never going to hear this, and a bunch of them probably won't. It'll never get around to her, and if it does, I'd say this shit to her face.
Yeah.
And I have not seen her since that night at Relapse. So if I did see her again, I don't know how it would go down, but
and it's so hack. Like for women, the first thing they go to is like your genitals. When you break up with them, they want to talk shit about that. Yeah. Like, oh, you had a small dick, or you had
because they think the guys think about that shit. Honestly, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I have a small penis. I don't care.
I know, like
that was the thing that I was like, okay, so you actually can't make fun of my dick, and you can't make fun of the sex that we had because obviously it was good. So you have to go for the ball.
Yeah, like we had sex, we fucked, so.
Like, it's an insult.
Hey, it was good enough while I was up in you, right?
Yeah, I was like, I wanted to reply and just be like, I don't remember you complaining when we were dating, so.
Go ahead, Guy.
No, I got a ball joke and a rape joke, and it's like battling back and forth.
Do the rape joke.
Ball rape.
Well,
Rape.
Like, yeah, well, no.
Things you should never chant for 500.
This should have been, what is rape?
What is rape for 500, Alex?
Oh, man.
What is...
Yeah, so some Conan writers showed up, and Rory Scovel, who's in Atlanta this weekend, he showed up. And, like, I'll be honest. I'm jealous as shit that Sarah's got that going on. I am. I'm fucking jealous as hell.
She's doing something in the improv, too, I think, right?
Not that I know of. I mean, she's performed it. She's done an open mic there. I mean, I have, too. But, and, like, she's not, like, a bad comedian. I don't think that she's necessarily too funny, but, you know, she holds her own.
She's no Guy Frizzell.
Off stage, she's batshit crazy.
Yeah.
So,
I saw
you know. But you're not batshit crazy. So,
borderline. Yeah.
I keep it locked up in the bell tower. Isn't that where bats hang out?
The bell tower?
Sure, yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about...
Bat cave.
You did Epic Comedy Hour from July 2011 to May 2012, right?
Well, I mean, I came back like full time, yeah, but I came back and hosted July, and then I came back and hosted August of 2012. Okay. And then after August, I was like, okay, now I'm handing it over to Scott and Jason and Tim, and I'll be back this July to host that 2-year show.
Good deal. So, I guess what I'm trying to get to was, what was the move like to Atlanta? How did you do any open mics there in Atlanta? Like,
yeah, I still do. Yeah.
Like how is it different? I know it's different, obviously in size. I mean, there's more people down there, but I mean in terms of like how the open mics are run, like how's it different from Huntsville? Like this.
Okay, so for the most part, the first thing that I found out when I moved over there is there's a Google Calendar that has all the open mics listed throughout the week, and that's like one of the first things that you need to do is get that calendar so you know who's who. It's like this at this time, contact so and so.
Yeah.
You absolutely have to sign up for everything. You have to email somebody to get on a list and get signed up, even if it's for like a week in advance. And it's just so they have things organized and can get people on and figure out who to book and everything like that. So the little bar open mics are pretty much the same as they are here, except for some of the other ones. There's some that are just like amazing. The best open mic in Atlanta is on Monday nights, and it's at a place called Star Bar in Little Five Points. And the crowd comes in, and it's like the bar turns into a comedy club. I've been there for music. I haven't been there for Monday nights.
Yeah.
But apparently, it's like the bar just pretty much turns into a comedy club.
Yeah.
There's a couple other places like Limerick Junction turns into like a comedy club. Java Monkey in Decatur. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. But then there's some that just depends on who's the host and who runs it that end up being pretty bad. There's one up in Buckhead that used to be like, I used to do it like every week when I first moved over there, and now it's like awful. Starts at like 10 o'clock. It's bad. There's a few that start like really late. But yeah, everything is more like, it has to be more organized because there's so many people, and they're trying to get like everybody organized and have everybody get like equal stage time. And if you screw up on something, you're just flat out not invited back.
What do you mean in terms of like just being a dick or being?
It's really easy to get a bad reputation, like really.
Like going over your time and shit.
Going over your time,
ignoring the light thing.
Ignoring the light, and then
that's here too.
Or just getting up there and like, if the audience groans more than they laugh, you're not invited back.
See, I like groans though.
But the comedy community just doesn't tolerate it. Yeah. It's like, you're not being funny. You're not being funny, so don't even bother. Because a lot of them look at it like you're taking stage time away from people who are actually trying to do this. Yeah. Like Jake is trying to be an actual comedian.
I got a question. You're comparing Atlanta, who is in my mind like the top 4 in comedy cities,
along with LA, NYC, and Chicago.
Yeah, I think Atlanta and Chicago are probably close, like right there. But as far as stand-up comedy, improv, Chicago's above, but stand-up, they're neck and neck, I think. But comparing that to Huntsville is kind of like apples and oranges. But as far as our scene here, I would say this about Huntsville comedy. I think we're a pretty tight-knit group for the most part. What about Atlanta? Is there a tight-knit, or is there a lot of just we're this group, this is that group, that type of thing?
I've said this before. There's like the upper tier of comics who you can guarantee are like doing feature spots at Laughing Skull every weekend or improv, or they're going to be the ones who are at Secret Show, and then there's people below them, and then below them. Everybody that you've seen come do Epic from Atlanta is top tier Atlanta comics. None of them are like second or third tier. And the way that got started was when Tushar and Ben and Mike Albanese and those guys came over and went back to to Atlanta and told them about the show. When I moved there, I went to Skull's open mic like the first week that I was there and met some people in there, and I was like, yeah, I'm Justin, I just moved here from Alabama, and they were all like, oh, you're that Huntsville guy. They knew me before I even knew some of these people. Yeah. Because Tushar and them were coming back and being like, oh, you guys have got to get on this Huntsville show, blah, blah, blah. And that's how I started booking the majority of them, because Tushar went back and just, like, praised the hell out of the show.
Who?
Tushar Singh. He was on the April show.
Did you see that one thing on YouTube he did? That I think
the documentary.
That was really, that was like, wow.
Where he went to the Indian thing.
Yeah.
That was awful.
Yeah.
He got offered, he's Indian.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of Indian relatives in Huntsville. He's from Huntsville. He's got a lot of Indian relatives up here and family in Birmingham, and he got invited to come do stand-up at a little like gathering of Indians in Birmingham. He bombed his ass off because they didn't get his jokes. Like there was such a like culture gap. And then what was funny was they got up there and did like, some of the Indian people got up there and did like sketch comedy after him and killed, like crushed. All the Indians were laughing like crazy. But Tushar's got a joke about how he used to live up north, and he got held back in school, and he was in some grade and got held back, and then he was on that reading level, and then he got held back, and then he was on that reading level, and then he got held back again, but then they moved to Alabama, and he was right on track, and that's like the joke. And so like some of the people in the back were like, "You're making fun of Alabama. The people who are paying you live here." And he was just like, okay. Yeah. I had no clue what to say to that.
Don't get offended when you go to a comedy show.
As I was about to ask you it's written down here. Sorry. It's like, have you ever had like a bad crowd at Epic? Like, not in terms of like people like, well, maybe people shouting out and shit, but also in terms of like coming up to you after the show and being like, that offended me, shit like that.
No,
like
nobody's ever done that.
Really?
Nobody's ever done that. I don't. For the most part, when people get like upset about something and they're like offended, they don't say anything.
Yeah,
they really don't.
They just
The people who like actually say something are the ones who go and get on the internet and then say something.
Yeah,
they hide behind a keyboard.
Yeah,
I heard like the best thing about someone being offended today. I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast and Bill Burr was on there. And Bill Burr told this story.
You said
about,
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, that's the same thing. But Bill Burr told a story, and he didn't tell who the comic was, but there was some plane crash that happened, and he was making jokes about that plane crash. The comedian was, and then some guy stood up and said, "My wife died in that plane crash." Well, the comedian, without missing a beat, says, "Well, let's dig her up and fuck her." And I was like, yes.
It's because I knew that she was on
that
plane.
was so. I was like,
that's so fucking
fuck,
stupid.
that's great.
To me,
okay, like Tushar at that show that I did, there was a black lady in the audience that like kept yelling stuff during Tushar's set, and
T-Seal.
no,
it was
one of her friends.
It was her friend that performs at the
Green Room. Yeah.
Oh shit.
So she's in the back of the room. Actually, my brother was sitting in front of her, and
I was at that show.
My brother, like, he told me later on. At one point, my brother like turned around and looked at her and like gave her an ugly look, like, "Shut up! You've been talking like the whole show." But Tushar had some joke about like having sex with a girl and about him being an Indian and everything, and she just goes, "How you have sex with women with all that hair?" And she like mumbled a bunch of shit, talking about Indians being hairy, and Tushar's just like, "What? What did you say?"
Yeah.
So she says it again, and Tushar goes, "So the question is, how you have sex with all that hair in the way and all this other shit?" And then Tushar goes, "That's why I'm racist." And from what I'm told, like some black woman like got up and left and was just like, "These motherfuckers in there is racist." And all
no. What happened was,
like, "You're yelling during his sex."
Yeah, that was some girl like in the front row. But like I asked like some other girls that were with her, and supposedly she actually had to leave for some kind of emergency.
Oh, okay.
Because I thought the same thing, and like I asked around, and like supposedly like she had to leave for an emergency. Well, that's what they said.
If you get offended at comedy shows or you yell at comedy shows,
it was a young
fucking
girl.
leave.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Leave or keep your
it wasn't
mouth
T-Cell or a
shut.
girl that was with her or any of that
yeah.
crowd. It was like some girl that was up front because I saw that and I was like, oh, because I lost my shit.
This was funny. One time at Epic Comedy Hour, Thaddeus was on stage, and he had some sort of bit about like people with disabilities or like with one leg. And I was sitting next to a woman who was on my row who had one leg.
I remember that.
And she literally after this set got up and hopped out. She left.
Oh, really?
I was like, oh my god, this is so funny. And I told him after the show, he's like, I did that? Oh my god.
Like, okay, when I started the show, I put on the flyer, "This is rated R for mature audiences only." I didn't have to do that, but I wanted people to know, like, this is what you need
for
to
kids,
be expecting.
yeah.
And I talked to Flying Monkey about it a bunch. I was like, this is not going to be like anything else you guys have probably ever had. Because we're going to say it's going to be a comedy show. You're going to get everybody coming in here for this, thinking that it's going to be one thing, and it's going to end up being
think it's Larry the Cable Guy.
You're going to think that it's all this family-friendly little comedy shit that has been going on around here.
I like Ron White better than any of them.
Yeah.
Ron's different. He pops into Skull every now and then.
Yeah.
Does he live in the 18th?
He lives over there.
Him
and what's that guy's name? Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker pops in.
Oh, really?
Chris Tucker pops in and does like fucking 25 minutes at an open mic. Everybody hates him when he shows up.
He just bumps everybody up. Well, one question I was going to ask you is kind of leading into that was, did you get any resistance when you first started, like, the show? Like, in terms, like, you said, like, Flying Monkey took 6 months to reply. Like,
no, they were, okay, very first show, we had like 260 people show up. And when I had talked to them about it, I was like, I don't know who's going to show up. I don't know what kind of turnout we're going to have. I don't know how this is going to go. And they were like, well, we'll play it by ear, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know? So the night that it's done, we're like out in the hallway saying goodbye to everybody, you know, thanks for coming, blah, blah, blah. Matt, who used to do booking up there, like comes up to me and goes, August 19th free, do you want it? So they knew like immediately like this is
going
to continue to be like a pretty big crowd. Give them another date. So they've been like they've just been giving me dates like ever since. Just like all right, you're obviously
awesome.
like being able to work something out. So here, and then like we did that August show and had like almost the same amount of people, and then we did a Saturday show in that September.
Yeah.
Horrible idea. Really? Saturday we had 100 people come out. That was fucking Alabama-Arkansas game was that night. Terrible idea.
Yeah.
Terrible idea.
So you keep it on Fridays.
Is that when
Homegrown's on Fridays too?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like,
Friday's a good night. Everybody gets off of work and they're like, let's go hang out. And
let's do something. Yeah.
Saturday is more like we've been hanging out all day.
Let's just chill at home.
Let's just like let's relax. So we don't want to go out. So
yeah, I see that. I'm total opposite because I usually have to work Saturday.
Really?
So I'm like, I'm ready to get drunk on Saturday because I don't have to work the next day and I can deal with the hang.
When I had the Saturday show, I had so many people like being like, "Dude, I can't make it. Like we got other plans."
Yeah,
so,
they're all usually downtown or something on Saturdays.
Right.
This is my question dealing with Homegrown. And since I think the initial Homegrown was in July, which we saw a big crowd, and then the 1 year anniversary of Epic was a good crowd. But ever since then, I think there's been it's been trickling down. I don't know if it's dealing with like winter time. A lot of people don't come out in the winter. Do you think having two comedy shows there simultaneously in the same month is like harmful in a way?
I don't think so, because a lot of people that have come to Epic, like they'll be like, I didn't even know this was going on.
Yeah.
So like, obviously as time goes on, people are going to pick up on the fact that there is like 2 shows going on.
Yeah.
But it's going to give them chances to be like, well, we went to Epic last month. Let's go to Homegrown this month. Yeah. And they'll swap it up a little bit. Because, for one thing, when you look at an Epic poster, the only people that you know nowadays is whoever's hosting it. That's whoever. That's who the Huntsville people know. Like sometimes there's people like Sam and Patrick that are about to do this show.
I really don't think that anyone knows anybody.
Really not. Yeah.
I don't.
Unless they've been to like every show that's ever.
Well, that's what I was about to say. There was posted on the comedians group. There was a couple I sat beside on the Slash show at Epic. They said we've been to every comedy show that Flying Monkey has put on, and like we love it. Like we love coming out to them. Like doesn't matter like Homegrown or Epic. Like I don't know if they like Flying Monkey on Facebook or whatever.
Well, I think it helps too because when I did Homegrown in January, it was part of. I think when I was bringing Tom on, I said something like, how many of you guys have been to an Epic Comedy Hour before? And almost the whole place like clapped.
Yeah.
So if they're going to one, they're probably going to the other.
Yeah. I mean, 2 times a month compared. I mean, that's not much.
It's only $7.
Yeah, $14 a month, and BYOB.
It's a good deal. Draw. It's a really fucking.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a really nice venue.
I love Flying Monkey. It's the best stage, best crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you guys come out. Hey, Homegrown's this Friday.
April 12th.
I'll be on the show. A lot of other funny people come out.
Patrick Cunningham.
Sorry, that's a shameless plug. Yeah, Zach, Patrick, Mark, Tim Benton, who we mentioned, Tammy Bucky, Brandon Imes, Thaddeus Blake.
So you had the first Homegrown was last July.
July, yeah.
And then there was another one. There was
September.
one that Carlos was on, right?
Yeah.
September was the next one. I was on that
see,
one.
we didn't have an Epic that month. So you're talking about like 2 shows in a month. That in that case it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then it didn't happen in January either because we didn't have an Epic in January.
Yeah.
Well, it's something me and Jonathan were actually talking about on the way over here. Was I don't like since I moved down here, I want to start my own shit. An open mic or maybe a showcase or something. But I don't want to oversaturate things. I don't want people to like. Do you think that's a concern? Like people like just like throwing shit out there the entire like all week, like every month, pretty much, and just like there's too much shit. Like we gotta. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think it would hurt to get at least one more open mic started. And Tim Kelly's talked to me about something that he's been talking to Lone Goose about doing like a 4 people feature show where they do like 15 minutes a piece. So it's like a mini show.
Yeah.
Something like that wouldn't be bad too if he can't get that going. But another like actual show I think would be overkill. I think that would be a little.
That's the thing. Like because whatever I want to start, I don't want it to be overkill. Like I don't want it to be oversaturated. Then like Scott put a really good point up when I was talking to him. He said like we don't want the same people, like the same comedians coming out to every open mic every week.
That's
doing
what
the
I had to.
same shit.
Okay, like, I sent Matt, and if he listens to this, Matt, dude, I hope you fucking really took to heart what I said to you. I sent him a message saying you need to do advanced signups. Because here's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
If you tell people, like, because he said something about somebody asked him about Olivia's open mic, and he was like, yeah, I'd love to sign you up, but it's 72 hours from now. That guy's not coming.
Yeah.
Not coming at all now.
Yeah. I don't think he did. Yeah.
If you tell somebody, hey, email me or contact me on Facebook, I'll put you on a list, and you'll be on next week. Here's what this person's going to do. They're going to say, all right, I am booked. They're going to look at it like that. On this little open mic next week. Hey, friends and family, come see me. And then they all come.
Yeah.
When we do Laughing Skull, I've noticed this every time I do Skull's open mic. Half of them are tier 1 Atlanta comics who have no friends or family that come to the shows, and then the other half is nothing but like first timers.
Yeah.
And they fucking pack
Bring
that
their
place
friends
every goddamn Tuesday.
I want to see Billy do open mic.
Skull's open mic is never like an empty crowd. That place is crowded every single week.
Yeah.
Because they know how to bring people in.
Yeah.
Yeah. To play off of that, like with the Comedy Mayhem show that's coming Wednesday, because Copper Top's on a bye week.
Yeah.
We're doing it at Crossroads, but it's a comedy competition, and I'm offering up $100 to the winner.
You said a lot of people have emailed you.
And I put, hey, if you're interested, contact me at booking@comedy-mayhem.com. I've gotten like 5 or 6 emails from out-of-town comics, like Birmingham, Nashville, who said, hey, I want to be on it. Can you put me on? Yeah, come down, show up. We'll give you 5 minutes, and hey, bring a friend or two.
So
with
it's
you.
only 5 minutes.
It's 5 minutes.
It's gonna be punchy, man. Yeah,
I think there's probably gonna be
like have
20,
like a ton of people on it. That's all.
there's gonna be like 20 people, I think, and that's good. We're gonna do 5 minutes. Always is a 2-hour show, so you're gonna have plenty of time we're gonna fill. But I want to do it right. Let the crowd pick the winner. I'm not gonna decide at all. I'm not participating. I'm just hosting, and everybody comes out, does their best 5 minutes, and the winner wins the money, takes the cash home with them. And I think it's going to be awesome. I don't think Huntsville's actually done that for like a big cash
They
prize.
haven't done that since like Scott started comedy, because Scott did it up at Chips and Salsa with fucking Mojo. And Mojo was in the contest. Yeah. And that, like, Scott, I saw a video of that. That's what introduced me to Scott's comedy. Plus, he used to work with his brother, and that's how I met Scott. Yeah. But like that kind of thing definitely needs to go on for sure. Even like everybody's like, oh, comedy's not a contest, it's subjective. Tongue in cheek, make it a fucking contest.
It is fun. It's fun.
It's just fun. If all
the comics go into it knowing like this doesn't really mean anything. This doesn't mean I'm better.
It's a glorified open mic for money.
It's exactly and you're bringing your friends. Like I have all my friends are you guys. Like the comics. Like I'm not gonna I don't give a fuck. I'm just doing it to do it. Like,
I haven't said this at all, but the way I'm doing it is, like, some people might say, oh, if I go up first, I might be at a disadvantage, or if I go up last, I might be... So the way I'm going to do it is, if you think someone's funny, write their name down on a piece of paper. You can vote as many times as you want. Bring it to me. I'll stick it in my pocket. At the end of the show, I'm going to tally up the votes. So if the same person comes to me with, 5 names, I'm going to count each one. Yeah. Because you thought that person was funny enough to get
I like that. That way they can keep they don't have to remember that person. They can just be like, so if Jeff Graham goes up first, check off a thing I like Jeff, and then just they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. That way, everybody gets a fair shake. Into the show, tally the votes, boom, one winner. Yeah.
But I mean that whole thing
about a lot of pieces of paper
that all say Guy Frizzell. Guy Frizzell.
Hey, that's also your birthday, right? So
I didn't want to tell anybody because I want to get any special treatment.
No, I'm gonna say it when you go.
I'll say it's Guy Frizzell's birthday.
Buy me a shot.
No, you all can do
vote for him or buy him beer or a shot.
Y'all can sing happy birthday and take up 2 minutes of his set. You got 3 minutes, motherfucker. Go.
That's fine. Only got 3 jokes.
1 rape joke. That's all you're gonna get out.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. It's just gonna be fun. Yeah. Because it really excited me when you said people were out of town or emailing you about that and shit. So that's awesome. I'm up for anything that gets us on the map with comedy in Huntsville. I don't care whose show it is. I don't care who's doing it. I just want people to know about it.
I can tell you, from an Atlanta point of view, the guys over there are aware of Huntsville's budding
burgeoning scene.
Yeah. Because they're all I'll meet people and they'll be like, oh yeah, you do that show, or people who have already been on it, they'll come and they'll see me and be like, oh man, that was great, I can't wait to do it again. Yeah. So I never even met Caleb Simon until
he's fucking
a month ago, and and I was like, hey man, I don't know if you recognize me, but I talked to you about doing Epic, blah blah blah. And he was like, oh man, that was great, it was awesome. And then told like a bunch of his friends, and now him and a whole slew of people are coming to do July. Joe Pettis is back on for July too.
Oh, yeah.
So Daniel Cole, your buddy Joe Pettis will be on July. Do you guys know about that?
Yes.
No, I don't.
Yes.
I'm gonna embarrass the shit out of him.
I don't
Because he ought to be embarrassed about this.
Oh, yeah.
After the Epic Comedy Hour last year, the 1 year anniversary, Joe Pettis headlined, and Joe,
I was there.
Joe is like tier 1
He's good.
Atlanta comic. Fucking puts shit together weekly, and everybody loves him. Great comic, hilarious dude. He does like, I don't know, 30 minutes. He did quite a while.
He did a while.
Yeah. Daniel goes home and emails him.
Yeah, he didn't yell anything out during the show.
No, didn't say anything. Goes home and emails him about how shitty of a comedian he is.
You know what's worse than that?
Hear that?
Hey, we went to Lone Goose after the show.
Yeah,
He stood in a circle and talked to him.
Was Daniel there?
Yeah,
Oh,
Daniel came out
I
after the
heard
show
that.
and talked to him.
I was too busy talking to that fucking
Holy
tiny blonde girl in the
shit.
God damn it, I still think about that
yeah.
girl. I have no fucking clue who she was. But no, Daniel, like Joe texted me the next day and goes, hey, do you know a guy named Daniel Coley? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, he sent me this email. And then Joe forwards the email to me, and I read it, and I was just like, I immediately texted Joe back. I was like, dude, I am so sorry. That is totally uncalled for. I said, I have no clue. I said, look, you know that I don't think that. Like, that's like no representation on me.
Yeah, he told me he should run into a wall.
And you know what Joe did?
What?
Fucking put it on Facebook. The next fucking day,
Wow.
put like word for word posted. Now, didn't put Daniel's name on it or anything.
Yeah.
And so many
you should
people,
have.
like Joe's got like fucking 4,000.
Like, what's his name? Who is it?
So many people commented on it, just like, this is shit. You should beat that fucker up, and like all this other stuff.
Wow.
So it was really like. And I think I saw
Honestly,
Joe one time after that, and we kind of joked about it a little bit. But Daniel, you know, you shouldn't have done that.
Honestly, I hacked into Daniel's account.
And you wrote that. All right, Daniel, you're off the hook.
Guy Frizzell.
Daniel Coley is a good guy. Guy Frizzell is a
All right, guys, an
douchebag.
ass. Daniel, you can do Epic.
Oh,
Let's not get too far.
In May 2016.
when he runs the show.
After Scott has had like
after he's killed
Scott's
everybody.
daughter has grown up and gotten married.
And all the other comics have moved away to bigger
things.
Tim has drank himself to death.
Oh my god, that's funny. That's crazy though. I didn't know about that shit.
Yeah,
I knew about the very
think
next
I heard
day
that.
because I saw Joe Pettis post that,
Yeah.
and all he said was this guy from Huntsville, Alabama, and he mentioned like his Twitter account. I was like,
Yeah.
Which
that
is
sounds like Daniel. He
Yeah.
has 12 followers. Yeah. So I looked it up. I was like, yeah, that's Daniel. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Man, that's...
But you know, like Joe could care less, to be honest with you. Like if he saw Daniel at this next show, and
He'd give him a kiss.
I would probably tell Joe like, hey, this is the dude that sent you the email, and I'm sure Daniel's face would turn like bright red.
He'd probably give him a hand.
And-
Oh, dude, yeah.
And Joe would just
Keep
be
me
like,
on the
hey,
show in
man.
Atlanta.
How'd it go?
Oh man.
I want to pee. You guys.
But
amongst yourselves.
what was the question?
There's
I don't
no
know.
question,
Sorry.
actually. We're just talking shit.
Was there any resentment towards anybody? Have I gotten any? I think this got started with the question of have I gotten any like bad feedback?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
about
because
Epic?
yeah.
So
Bad feedback.
the only time that I ever like anyone ever really said anything negative was the last year's March show when all the Birmingham comics came up for that first time. Some dude came up to me and was just like, "Yeah, all those Birmingham people, don't have them back." And I was
Really?
like,
That was the first one
I
I went
like
to.
that show. I like Mario.
That show
Mario
like
killed
kickstarted
it.
Epic.
And-
That show
yeah.
really brought Epic
Tolly
like, into
Jones,
its own.
like,
Yeah,
those
I
guys-
love
Tolly's
Tolly.
amazing.
Yeah.
Ken didn't do so well on that show. I've seen Ken
Yeah,
do really
KBJ.
well, but he was a little bit off that night.
Wasn't that his second show, though?
That was the second one. Yeah. The first one he came and did was great.
That was the one, though, I went, like, well, I can do this.
Yeah, Mario and Tolly, they crushed it. And
Yeah, I
Rivers.
love Mario.
Oh fuck.
Oh, Rivers, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Rivers.
Rivers
is great, man.
Now he's out in LA. Like he's doing stuff with Tushar in LA.
Yeah.
They
First
do,
he moved to like San Francisco, I think.
I think he lives there, but he goes to LA like all the time and
Yeah.
does that Unnecessary Evil show with Tushar a few times now. But that show, like that was the one that I felt like that was one of the ones where I had one of my better sets and felt like Yeah. Okay, now we've like really kind of come into our own, like as far as like a show should go. I felt like that one was good.
Mario is someone who I haven't seen back, but I would like to see back.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really talked to him, and the one that Tolly was on this past, I think he was on like October or November or something.
Yeah,
that was like a last minute thing.
Yeah,
because I think
the fill-in guy.
Bo like had to drop out.
Yeah, he's gonna be on this next one though,
Bo's
right?
about to be on this next one, so Bo had to move back to Birmingham because he went with his I guess now fiance.
Yeah, his fiance is my girlfriend's boss's daughter.
Oh, nice, nice. Bo's fucking great. I saw Bo at Laughing Skull one night. Yeah. We were sitting back there, like me and him and a couple other comics, and Bo was like, "I got this joke about how like I don't understand why like hunters use like beer koozies that are camo, like when they're out in the field. Like, why would you need that?" And like he was like, "I don't know if I should do it or not." And then like we were like, "No, it sounds good. You should go do it." And then he goes up there and opens with it and fucking crushes. And I was like, "Damn good decision, Bo."
That's awesome.
So he's gonna do really well. I know
he won some competition at the Stardome.
Stardome?
Yeah, Stardome.
Yeah, okay.
That's funny you mentioned that because I want to talk about. I mentioned you on the post about Birmingham, and we listened to a comedy. Have you listened to a comedy?
No, but I saw y'all say that.
And then I listened to the Jared Harris and
that
Ryan
was a good
Singer.
interview.
That was really.
They had a lot of insightful stuff for like
who
people.
Yes.
Who's that?
Dave Nilsson, I think is his
just
name.
Follow me on Twitter too.
Where's he out of?
Valdosta, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
if I'm correct.
But it was really interesting because I just thought it was interesting because they were saying like how Birmingham comics has such an shitty attitude. I was like, yeah, we fucking saw that shit firsthand.
Yeah, what happened? Like, I know y'all said that.
All right, I want to say mine first, and then Guy, you say yours.
Yeah.
Okay, me, Jonathan, Guy, and Mark. Jonathan drives down there. It's what, a 2-hour drive down there. Yeah. No money in our pockets, just to do an open mic.
My gas money.
Jonathan's gas money, Jonathan's car, Bar 31 in Birmingham, Alabama. We go down there.
What day of the week was this?
Monday, yeah.
It was a good crowd. I mean, it's a big crowd.
It was a good crowd, yeah. They were listening and shit. My experience was I was the last. Okay, the first thing that happens was
they told us 10 minutes.
They told all the MC said everybody gets 10 minutes.
Who's the host?
Terry T. Is his name. Okay. Terry T. That's his stage. I don't know the guy's real name, but Terry T was his stage name.
And then they changed it to 5 minutes.
Yeah, okay, well here's what happened. Like a comedy band went on first called Whiskey Dicks. They went on.
Yeah.
They were funny. I'm not talking shit about Whiskey Dicks though. They were funny guys. They were funny. They went on for 2 hours till I think an hour and a half till like 8:30, 9.
9:30.
Yeah, 9:30. They went on first and they're like, all right. Then the comedy show started. And then, like, Mark went up and signed all of us up and shit. And I was like, I don't care when I get on. Like, I don't care. So, like, but he told everybody that everybody got 10 minutes. All the comedians got 10 minutes. I get on last. Before I get on, like, the second last person's on, he comes up to me. He's like, hey, man, we need you to do a type 5 because we need the band to come on after you. I'm like, all right, man, that's whatever. I don't even do 5 minutes. I do like 3.5 minutes. Like, I don't even do 5 minutes because I'm courteous. I'm not a fucking asshole. I get off stage. And then after the show, he doesn't even come up to us and say thank you for coming out or anything. Like,
yeah, that's the thing about
that's the shit that really pisses me off. That like I did what you wanted me to do.
Right.
We drove 2 hours down here, not even getting paid, and then you don't even say thank you.
Who else was there?
In terms of comics?
I can't remember.
Anybody?
A couple new people, not like big names that we
know. Wasn't anybody there?
Yeah, it was just Birmingham.
That's my only experience with Birmingham comedy is me and Tom and Steven went down to do Rare Martini, which is Mario's room.
Yeah.
We went down there, and that was when I met Martin Morrow and Bailey. And
Bailey Clark.
Yeah, you are goddamn right. Bailey, if you're listening to this, yeah. You're hot. I know you're not listening to this, but
she's funny though. She's funny as fuck. Yeah.
She has the most liked Epic Comedy Hour video.
Oh really?
Her clip is the most liked.
She's funny, man. She's funny as fuck.
Her clip is the most liked Epic Comedy Hour thing. So So we go down there, and that's when I meet like all them and everything.
Yeah.
And we had a pretty good night. It wasn't like anything like stellar or anything.
Yeah.
But, there wasn't that many people there.
Yeah.
But
that was my experience with it. But then like Mark, Zach, and Matt went down the week before we did, and they got booked for a show in Tuscaloosa, like for April 18th.
Richard's show.
I think so. Yeah, Lockhart. Yeah, they got booked for that. I was like. And Mark felt bad afterward. I was just like, he was like, dude, I feel bad. I'm like, dude, don't feel bad. Like, I personally do not have a good experience with it though. Like, I'm never coming back down here to do comedy again.
I would try to do Mario's. I'd try to go and do Rare Martini.
That's what I want to do.
I mentioned that we should do Rare Martini. I like Mario. I mean, I never like had that conversation with him, but I like him as a comedian and what I saw from him. I'm sure he does a good show.
Yeah.
My experience with the Bar 31 thing is, look, I don't care that I spent my own gas money. I don't care that, like, I know it's an open mic. I don't expect anything from it.
Yeah.
But like Guy said, at least acknowledge the fact that we
drove all the way down here.
Like, whenever someone comes here to Huntsville from Nashville or Birmingham, which we've had on the Comedy Mayhem shows, I always say, thanks so much. I say it that night to them. I email them the next day. Dude, that was a good set. Yeah. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate it. And if I can get a show that's paying together, hey, I think you did good. I'll put you on.
Yeah.
Nothing before, I mean, from that night or since from Terry T or any of those guys. So
you can always tell, like, most of the time when things go well, when the next day you're all friends on Facebook.
Yeah,
because I noticed after the March Epic Comedy Hour, I was like, wow. Suddenly, everybody's friends with Riley. Everybody's friends with Core. Like it's like everybody like got like buddy real quick. It's cool though. Like I like that. It's good.
That was a dude. This past show was really fucking good, man.
I heard that it was good quality.
They were all good. I think Dugan was really good. They're all good. I'm not trying. I don't want to try to.
I think from beginning to end, that was just.
It was a good show.
A really good show.
It was a really good show.
Yeah.
Fuck, it was
awesome.
Good.
That's good.
And then I think you commented on. I was the one who posted the comedy events on Reddit, like the thread. Yeah, that was me. Yeah, and then I saw you said like I'm Justin Ledlow. Yeah. So I was really happy to see people outside of us, just acknowledging it. So.
Because I'll look at that every now and then just to see like if anybody's talking about anything.
Yeah, I always try to post shit on Reddit at least.
I've thought about doing like a really silly AMA for when I come back to do the 2-year show, just to kind of promote it and just like ask me anything and just like.
Dude, I'm sure people would ask you.
But I don't know. I might do it. I might not.
Promoting it now, there's gonna be an AMA for Justin Ledlow already
in 3 months.
Look out for that shit. It's gonna be awesome.
Go subscribe to our Huntsville, Alabama. Watch that subreddit as it has a post on its front page from like 3 months ago.
No, I had one thing happen on Reddit. I did an open mic at the beginning of last year. At a sports bar, the Rugby's bar here in Huntsville.
Yeah.
And it was just a once a month show starting out because we at that point in time we didn't have any dedicated comedy open mics, so we just kind of put it together. Well, in April of last year, almost exactly a month ago, there was a group called the Meetup Group in Huntsville.
They came and trashed the shit out of you guys.
Yeah, they came. And what happened was.
That was
Tom Hand went Julie's up last. Good. Yeah, I like her, but no,
you don't like her?
No, I do like her. Okay. I say nice things about people who insult me. That's the thing. Tom Hand, who's now moved off to the Seattle area. He went up and he did a joke that was like a 15-minute joke about engineers and shit. And one of the guys that was part of that group was an engineer, and the dude was kind of giving him shit the whole time he was up there. So I kind of understand he was just like shitting on the guy.
Yeah,
but after that, like they literally hated us. Like I booked a show at Barrel House and the cinema flyer. They posted up. I was in Chicago at the time, filming Chicago Fire, and the manager from Barrel House messaged me and said, "Hey, we got some feedback about you guys." That you guys are kind of vulgar, and I was like, well, yeah, we're comedians. I don't have control over what people say. It's a rated R show. You're not going to have kids at your bar, right? I mean, come on. And so, but they were like, yeah, someone kind of had some negative feedback. I was like, were they part of a meetup group? Well, yeah. Okay, just ignore them. That was one show, like, in the beginning that happened. Trust me, we're all better since then. It's going to be a good show. And it was a good show at Barrel House.
Well, okay, I got shit for saying this on when I posted that in the comedians group about saying, like, you have got to respect your audience. And then Tom comes back and says, fuck the audience. All right, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Yeah. Fuck the audience is the shittiest attitude that you can possibly have. And if Tom was here, I'd say that to his face because I wanted, like, when he posted that, I didn't say anything back because I quit reading. I was just like, I'm not even gonna continue this because I wanted to be like, yeah, fuck the audience that got you paid on every Epic Comedy Hour that you were on. Yeah, fuck those people. That's stupid as hell. So, like, when you go up there and you're opening a show and you're hosting a show and you spend 15 minutes berating an engineer, guess what? They all hate you. And when we were doing the Skulls workshop, there was a comedian who was there who had, like, kind of a Tosh, Jesselnick kind of vibe where he was just, like, not, like, insulting all the time, but he was, like, he got more groans than laughs, that kind of thing. And Ben flat out told him, he said, if you keep doing that kind of attitude and you come to our open mic and we see that you're upsetting the audience more than making them laugh, you won't be booked again. Yeah. Well, that's my thing. Is like you're not going up there to try to speak your mind and all this shit. You're going up there to continue to come back.
It's not a platform to speak your opinion. You can do jokes. It's not going to be wrapped around it, but that's not all it needs to be focused on.
Like, okay, when I quit doing my religious jokes, like the atheist kind of stuff, only because I wanted to do different material. But even when I did do it, it was based on personal experiences that I'd gone through. It wasn't me going out of my way to make fun of Christians. It
shock people.
It was I had a kid tell me,
you had a viewpoint.
If you don't believe in God anymore, there's karma for you. Okay, I'm sorry, but that's funny as fuck.
You don't believe in karma either.
That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard, you little shit. So I mean, that's a true story.
Yeah.
And I'm making fun of him in particular, but not like Christians as a whole. That's just stupid.
My standpoint as far as doing stand-up is I never expect to win the whole audience over. I kind of expect for one or two people not to like me.
And I expect everybody to hate me. That's my
if I get the majority laughs, I might get a groan or two just because of the way a joke is, but I don't expect all groans. It's like a mixture. You kind of want a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Because if you get that groan, you can play off of it on stage.
Like that's what I like to do. A groan in what sense? Because I have that joke about my cat and about her. Like I'll say, like, I've had her for about 2 years now. It's been awesome having to look at her butthole for the past 2 years. And when I say that, I get like giggles and groans, and like it's not a groan like, oh, we don't like you. It's now we're thinking about your cat's butthole. Like, are you talking about groans like against you or groans as in?
For example, a joke that I always get, a mixture of laughs and groans, is I'll say, me and my girlfriend broke up recently, and she said something I couldn't believe. She called me a pedophile. I was like, pedophile, really? It's an awfully big word for a third grader, don't you think? And so the women always like, oh, the guy's like, obviously that never happened. I never dated a third grader, except for when I was maybe in third grade. But
I think that's one of those that does straddle the line between, and it's good, but when you're going up there and you're like belittling people and you are becoming the audience's enemy, you're not doing yourself any favors. And that was one of the things that we talked about in the workshop, because I went up and said something that wasn't really all that funny and got off. This was like the first night of the workshop, and Ben was like, I can't stress the importance of starting off strong. That he said you started off awful, and then the rest of your jokes were good, but it felt like you were trying to dig your way out of that bad 30 seconds at the beginning.
My philosophy has been, since I've started, is just pack as many laughs as you can in as short as a time.
That was that's one of the things that I was.
It was like every 30 seconds.
At least every 30 seconds.
If we were going to have that workshop today, that was going to be one of the things that I was talking about, because there was a guy that was at the workshop who had, like, his setups were fucking long.
Yeah,
dude. Got to a punchline that was not worth the setup.
There are a few comics in our scene who did that.
The last joke can be long, I think.
Yeah, right. As long as you prove to yourself that you're funny.
If it pays off.
If it pays off at the
end. And if you prove building up to it.
That's why I try to, like, one thing I noticed with some of the Atlanta comics that come down, and I kind of made a note at one of the epics and told myself this: they kind of make fun of themselves towards the beginning of their set. Yeah. I think that kind of helps, where hecklers aren't going to fuck with you. Yeah. You're making fun of yourself, the obvious things about you. Right. And the heckler isn't going to be like, if I go up there, I make fun of myself being fat. You're going to hear hecklers say, "You're fat." Yeah, exactly. Like, fuck, I already said that. You know. Yeah. If you establish that in the beginning, then
you can't. If you own the things that like people want to try to use against you, then they can't use it against you. Yeah. So, but as far as like the long joke thing goes, Ben told us like several times, think about your words as money. If you're using a lot of words, you're spending a lot of money on that joke. Cut out some words. And he also called it like cutting out the fat and stuff like that. Yeah. So the one guy that he told this to had like really long, unnecessary explanations to some of his jokes to get to the punchline. His set, the very first workshop, was drastically different from his set the last day of workshop. The last day of workshop, he killed. He did great. And that was in 4 weeks. So just from Ben telling him, like, you got to cut out some of these words. You got to get to the point.
Get to the point. So like, don't repeat yourself. If you say it, if the audience didn't catch it, just keep moving with it.
And if you're telling a joke and you get to the end of it, don't say okay or and then or
am I right?
Yeah, because you like the audience wanted to laugh where you had that punchline, but then you punctuated it with something else, and now they're like, wait a minute, are you done? Yes. Now I don't know.
Another thing I see a lot here in Huntsville at some of the open mics is people are doing a lot of like kind of like what I call crowd work. When you're like, have you ever,
have you done this?
Yeah. Like that kind
Audiences
of stuff.
don't. They're like, I don't want to fucking clap. Just talk.
How many of you like breathing air? Because like that.
Breathe air if you like to breathe air. All right, well we're doing that.
Yeah, so like I saw one dude at one of the Monday open mics here. Literally every joke was set up with that.
Have you ever?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
How many of you? Have you ever? And I was like, come on, dude, just tell your joke. It doesn't matter. They're gonna relate to it or not.
It's like okay, I have the cat joke. I'll say, do we have any cat people in here? And the only reason that I say that is to say, and I don't mean half human, half cat. Mm-hmm. Although that would be cool if there was a paw that went up in the back. Like I use it as a means to go into something.
That's logical. Yeah. And it's maybe once or twice in like a 15-minute set. Right. Whereas that's like every time.
If I talk, and there's that one about me and like dating a black girl, I don't go like, has everybody here ever dated a black girl? It's just like, I had an ex-girlfriend tell me one time that I look like I would date a black girl. I could care less if any of you guys have ever.
And people will relate to that.
Exactly. Like I don't need to ask you if you will relate. I'm going to go ahead and assume because of the human experience that you will.
And even if you've never dated a black girl, you'll still think that's funny.
You'll still think this is funny because this shit got said to me. So. What are you guys doing over there? We got a lot of
it looks like
some shit.
We're trying to connect my fucking Facebook.
Why do you need Facebook? We're doing a podcast right now, fucker.
Yeah. Breaking into the.
We're doing important shit.
I want to fucking say that we're recording right now.
You want me to do it? I got on my phone. This way faster than your shitty computer. Let's just do this.
Fucking.
Do you have Guy's Wi-Fi password?
Guy has his Wi-Fi password. Like he has the computer.
I have it, but I was hoping you could find it on your computer.
I should be able to. Yeah.
Guy has an open computer that's not recording a podcast right now that you can use.
And you're like
I can't fucking remember my password to Facebook.
Using RAM and shit over here. And
it's all lowercase. Put it
put in the dashes. Just do it.
I never changed it.
I love how I'm the one.
Okay, so while Sam's busy, I'll ask Guy and Jonathan this.
Yes, I did just take the biggest shit of my life.
You did? You were in there for a while. And then we started hearing noises. I was like, is he watching like HBO in there?
I was
jacking off.
I was watching Girls.
I love that show.
Girls Gone Wild.
I watch that.
I love that shit.
I watch Girls like I watched it like every. Oh, you know what's enlightening? Watch Girls with some girls. You will learn so fucking much about women. Like, I'm serious. Like, this is... I watched Girls with two girls who are friends of mine from here, and, like, the whole time I was over there just, like, taking notes. Like, they do talk about each other like shit. They do make fun of each other.
So what's your question?
How are you guys with, like, criticism? Like, do you feel like you respond well to it? Or
yeah. I mean, as far as, like, my stand-up, or just, me being a shitty person? All right, as far as my stand up, all right, I'll say this: like as far as like when Tom Hand was here, I would do a joke, and me and him would rap, like talk after a show for like sometimes an hour or two after a show. Then he would give me feedback on some of the things and say, hey, try this next time. And I thought it was useful. So like, if you're not saying I'm a shitty person, but you're saying let's try this next time, I'm cool with it. I mean, it only benefits me in the long run. Yeah. As long as you don't do something shitty, like remind everybody every time you, like, hey, I told him to say that. Kind of thing.
That's pretty.
Like I do with Guy.
I never had any feedback.
Okay, well that's you're
no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying no one's ever given me any feedback.
Because you're awesome.
Besides, like you and Tom, like the first time you came out to the Cove, y'all both told me, and it was only like my second or third time doing it. Like, look at the state, because I was looking at the ground more and I was walking around. I was walking around. Doing stuff, and y'all were like, "Don't walk around."
Yeah, so much. I remember. I was like, "Well,
that's the first time I walked." You know, I was just trying to do stuff, but that's like the only like. I mean, I'm open to feedback and criticism.
You got feedback for us?
Well, no. The reason I asked that is because
feedback.
I kind of want to hear like.
Not on the podcast.
I really don't have any. I haven't seen you guys enough to know.
You've heard us a little bit.
I don't think you've ever seen me.
I've never seen him perform. I heard you on the CD.
You listen to the CD?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I thought, honestly, the sound quality was...
Yeah.
Okay, can I be 100%... I don't want to shit.
I have sat here and shit on Daniel Coley. I'm gonna shit on somebody after this.
I want to shit on him some more.
Oh my god!
I don't think that recording was all that good. Honestly,
it's very low sound.
It's very low quality.
Like in my car,
I have to listen to it in my
45
headphones to listen to it.
Yeah, I was at work listening to it.
Yeah.
Oh, Patrick.
Copy.
Patrick.
Whoa!
Patrick was awesome. I messaged him right after, and I was like, "Dude, that Boyz II Men shit was
Men." Yeah, like Guy's girlfriend, she got wet after hearing that.
Oh, nice.
She's the one that told him, like, hey, you gotta bring that Boyz II Men shit.
Yeah.
I hope he does that exact set.
I've told him to do it,
I asked him if he was going to do it. I asked him if he was going to do the Boyz II Men thing at Epic, and he said he was.
Yeah, he better.
But he has a lot, like his Ice-T, impression.
Yeah,
he can do anything as Ice-T, and it's fucking hilarious.
I only met him. I met him that night that I came up here and hosted Copper Top.
The day before Thanksgiving.
And I was so fucking wasted that I don't remember that night hardly at all.
It was a good night.
It was fun.
It was a good night.
The guy with the gun was awesome.
That was weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
the dude from Eastbound and Down.
Yeah,
made my
fucking
night.
Biker dude with a gun. Like, hey. Then he gets up there and does stand up, and everybody laughs because he has a fucking gun doing stand up.
Like, oh well, you can't not laugh or else.
Did that not work?
It worked. Yeah.
Then why you?
No, the only reason
the internet didn't work on my phone for some reason.
Hey!
All right.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
The only reason that I wanted to ask that was because when I asked about doing the workshop and Mark had said if this is going to be about a bunch of butthurt comedians, I wanted to be like, well, it might be, and if you are getting butthurt, then that's your problem, not mine.
Yeah.
But
I think
it's important.
There are a lot of strong personalities in the comedy scene. Like some people might perceive like myself or you or like Scott as like feeling like we.
Not me.
As being like the guys who are like, hey, we know everything. But I assure you, I do not feel like I know everything. I'm still learning as I go.
I don't either.
And if I can say, hey, what worked for me and what didn't work for me, then that's what I'll offer up to anybody from top to bottom. Anybody, first time doing it, or if it's your 50th time on stage, I'll say, hey, that kind of didn't work. That's what I'll offer. But it's only because of my experience of doing it.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like going back to what I told you last night. Like, I'm probably done with stand-up for a while. Like, I'm probably not going to do anything for a while and then come back and host Epic. Because I'm about to start those improv classes, and I'm more excited about doing that.
Improv, man, it's awesome.
Improv is just so much more...
Yeah.
So much more fun. So much more.
Well, I could tell, like, when you did Homegrown, like,
half of that was fucking made
up. Like,
the whole thing
about
Django was completely made up on the spot. The whole thing about the one ball stuff was completely made up. I mean, it's true, but it was just made up on the spot. My only jokes, like the cat and the TV, and then the black girlfriend, that was like my actual set. But I just weaved in other shit.
What I noticed from doing some of my recordings and listening back is like if I might have like something I plan on saying, but then I re-tag it with like an ad lib, and sometimes that ad lib is funnier than an actual joke, and I appreciate that more. Like, I'll be like, man, that's fucking awesome. Like, and then I'll work it into an actual joke. After
it's good that you record yourself, because that was another thing we talked about at the.
Too late, motherfucker.
Guy Frizzell with the technical notes here. Anybody logging into their Gmail account right now, just know that you only have to put in your username, not the @gmail.com part. Oh, Sam's password is incorrect. I was gonna say what it is, and then that popped up. I was like, oh well.
Titties and beer. That's what you put.
Sam has had 2 beers and a shot.
And a bottle of water.
And he's also typing on a very tiny computer right now.
Yeah, fucking.
My iPad's bigger than
that.
My maxi pad is bigger than that.
Yeah, we should make a maxi pad that's an iPad.
We didn't get
maxi pad.
I was just gonna say we didn't get any voicemails for this one, unfortunately.
Nobody wants to ask.
No one's listening right now. It's not.
If you want to call in, I'll be here for probably another 30 minutes. And
really, we're wrapping it up.
I don't know if we are or not.
No, let's keep going.
No, man, we've got plenty.
This is a marathon podcast.
What time are we at?
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Yeah, hour 25.
Okay. This is a marathon.
This is the longest one we've got.
This is the World's Strongest Man podcast.
Do you have anything else on there that you like wanted to get to?
Let me see.
No, I just want to make sure he's got all his points out of the way. So then.
One thing you've kind of touched on, but I want to talk about again is you didn't say it here, but you said it one time on the group, was some of the people in Atlanta are dicks. I don't want you to out anybody, but was that in terms of comics or crowd or?
I think I said that when I was just going through a shitty time because of Sarah. I think that had a lot to do with it. There's definitely like cliques.
Yeah.
Absolutely, a bunch of people who are kind of cliquey.
Yeah.
But from what I'm told, that's Atlanta in general.
Yeah. I think that's any big
it's any big city. That's just how people get. Because I've got coworkers of mine that have told me like, there's this town is just cliquey. So that's whatever. And like I said, I've been here my whole life in Huntsville, so I've never experienced that. But like, I will say this: the improv people have been a lot nicer than some of the stand-ups. Just because of their personality. Improv people have a group mind, and stand-ups have a single
very
mind.
single mind.
You know, the every time I see like improv people, they're really nice. But on the flip side of that, there's a bunch of comics over there that I see like on a weekly basis that are super nice. Every time I see Caleb Simon, the dude, like, we just like fucking goof off. Last time I saw him, we were like across the room from each other, like way across, and we just started like acting like we were jerking off at each other. And then like we get done, and he like walks over to me and like starts talking to me about shit. So, I mean, it's like there's some that like I took like a 3-month break from stand up, and then I came back in January and started doing it. And I showed up at Skull, and like Joe was there, and they were just like, "Hey man, I haven't seen you in a while. Like, what's up?" So they were like, they're supportive, but I mean, a lot of them are really successful, and they got a lot of shit going on, and they don't really have time to be friends with everybody. So that's
kind of I could see that. Yeah,
it's kind of ways here.
I kind of have some questions about that.
Like so much success,
like so many opportunities for other things in Huntsville.
I have a question about that. Like everybody's opinion. Like I've been doing it close to 2 years now, but during that 2 years, I've taken a couple like month and a half, 2 month like hiatus, like not done anything during that time frame. A couple times, twice. Do you guys feel like maybe sometimes you need to just do that to clear your head and maybe write some new stuff? Like,
man,
because I've done like week to week to week over the past like 2 months, like not missed a single week, doing like 2 or 3 shows, and it just really drags on me. I know there's people who are like in Chicago and do 3 shows a night.
Yeah.
And they're able to do it, but I think you have to build up a stamina. But what are your thoughts on like taking a little bit of a break here and there?
I think it's good, but at the same time, like I did it personally. I've taken altogether 2 months off just from not being able to do it from work and whatever, other responsibilities. But when I come back, I still do the same fucking jokes. And I think I fucking hate myself. Like I haven't been doing this shit for a month now, and I still have the same shit. Like, like why the fuck am I doing this?
Like when I took I took a break October, November, December, and then came back in January and did like the same set.
Yeah, I'm just like I fucking like.
And like that's one of the things like right now that I'm just like I went to an open mic a couple weeks ago called The Music Room and just like got up there and fucked around for 5 minutes and bombed my ass off. Like it was awful. A guy named Mark Shardula, who's going to do the July show, like gets up there like 2 people after me and goes, "Justin Ledlow, everybody," or as I like to call it, when crowd work goes wrong. And everybody just fucking laughed at me. And I'm over there just like head in my hands. He gets off stage afterwards and comes over and like rubs my shoulders. He was like, "You know I'm messing with you." I was like, "Yeah, I know." Yeah. But like I didn't want to go do that same old shit over and over again. That's my biggest problem is I get tired of the same jokes, but I can't fucking write new ones. I'm a terrible writer, and I think that's why I think that's why I like improv so much more. Is I'm just able to.
That's why I want to start doing improv because I think it'll put me in a different headspace, like in terms of like trying to think on your feet and trying to think of.
You'll watch your performance get better.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that. So, yeah.
But I mean, like, just to answer your question, like, it's like for me personally, it's good to take a break because also it kind of tests your ability to take a break. If you had to take a break and then come back 3 months later, could you just ease right back into it? Because when I did take that break, my first set in January was at Skull, and I got up there and did those jokes, and they went well. Yeah. So if you know that you can take some time off and then kind of just jump right back into it, that's good to find out.
I think 2 or 3 years in, it's okay. But once you hit like the 5-year mark, you legitimately have to be out there hustling, doing your thing. Like,
I mean, yeah,
it's a different level of comedian. Like, if that's the thing I want to know, like from the Huntsville comedy scene, who is just like doing it as a hobby, and who wants to see how far they could take it. I think, like, I started out like, hey, this is fun, man. Yeah. But like now I'm like, dude, how far can I take this? Yeah. And I want to see who in the Huntsville comedy scene are willing to like, let's just get in the car and go to like Ohio and do a show.
Everybody's asked me that since I started Epic, and I've always said it's just a hobby, and I've maintained that just because my real job is too good to give up. I just don't think I could ever just give that up.
You have an awesome job.
I do have an awesome job.
Yeah.
I work for a hell of a company. So.
I'm envious. I make vagina cream for a living.
Vagina cream?
So I use vagina cream for a living.
I do.
I probably make exhibits for companies that
I make vaginas cream for a living.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're a job. So Guy, are you trying to do this?
I would love to, but like, man,
you got an awesome job.
I do have a good job. I mean, it's hard work, but it's cushy at times, and like I want to write, but I can't think of anything to write, and I get up I tell the same jokes, and I've actually workshopped one joke, and I've got it to where I even like it more. I've told it a couple times lately, but it's just like, it's like I'm tired of saying these same jokes, and I brought a couple jokes back I haven't told, and like people like them, but it's just like.
But like on the flip side of that, like the comics that I see in Atlanta, they are all doing the majority of the same thing. Tushar's been doing that joke about the Bible, about the joke book thing, and then it ends up being the Bible. He's been doing that ever since I've met him, and still does it. And
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, though. I mean,
it's really not because your audience is different.
Totally.
Exactly.
But
in a bigger city, but not in Huntsville.
And I know people that tour, they do the same set every fucking night, practically different.
This is my opinion. There are some comedians in Huntsville that if we went on a road, like a road trip tour, whatever you want to call it, and hit up like 5 different cities, would kill in every city. Like, you're one of them. Sam's one of them. Like Scott, like Jeff Graham, like I don't want to name everybody, but like, look, if we went on a road trip and just hit up like a tour, a mini tour, like every day we're in a different city, you guys would kill. But yeah, there are restrictions. There are things like fucking real life gets in the way of shit.
Yeah,
and it sucks, man. Like,
that's what.
Yeah, I would love to be able to. Like, I wish I would have started like 10 years ago where I didn't care about my job and like could write all day and call in sick and not care.
I would have been an asshole if I started when I was 20. Like my mindset when I was 20 years old, and like when I knew like there's comedy in Huntsville at the time, but they would all go to like Nashville, Chattanooga, Birmingham to do comedy. If I would have taken the advice of some of my coworkers at that time to go and try it, I would have been a completely different comedian than I am now, but I also would have been a fucking asshole. I would have been like Doug Stanhope or something like that, like just fucking insulting people.
Oh yeah, I would have been like George Garland.
No, not say I'm on this level. No, don't get me wrong. I would have been like,
I mean, I would have been dead.
I would have been, yeah. I would have been like trying to be someone who I'm not now, and I'm glad that I started when I started in a way.
Yeah.
Although I'm not as far along as I'd want to be,
man.
But as a mindset and the style of comedian I am, I'm glad that I am like 30 years old doing this versus 20.
Well, like I was 22 when I started, and it's just like one thing I really want to stop
You're
doing.
still 22, right?
I'm 20. I'm 23 now. But the one thing I want to stop doing is talking shit about people, man. Like, I just think
on stage?
Period. Just in general. Like, about other comics and shit. Because I don't know. They talked about this on the Jared Harris, Ryan Singer podcast. Like, you don't know who's going to fucking start to show up.
Right.
And who's going to, like,
you're
going to
who
are you going to work with?
I can't I can't
do
do Sarah's open mic.
You can't do it.
Not even a possibility.
Yeah.
And I would never even email her and ask her.
Yeah, so like there's no telling who I'm talking shit about in Huntsville right now who's going to start a show like, no, man, you've talked shit about me. Like, I'm not going to put you on.
You're not
like,
going on my show.
Yeah, exactly. I want to do a show
I've
anyway.
had people. I told them to last night. Me and Tim and Scott and Jason have a list of people that are not going to do Epic.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be that guy. Like, I don't want to like burn bridges.
You're on that list.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I gave them a sneak peek.
You are the list.
I'm on the list too. I'm not allowed back, so don't feel bad. We're in good company.
Well, at least you got to do it once.
It's like fucking a virgin. I did it once.
I
was like 13.
I did.
Did you eat it?
No, I threw it away. I just couldn't stand it.
That was the logical next question.
I just couldn't. It. I know you said.
Did it taste
good? I just couldn't
good?
stand it.
Did you put any butter on it?
Dick butter.
My dick cum. I don't.
We're talking about popcorn, you guys.
We're talking about, folks. We're an hour and 40 minutes in. It's Spontaneous Humor Combustion. We're having fun.
Yeah, they know what we're talking
by
about.
FFC communications requirements, we had to plug this show.
Fuck off, government.
Yeah,
I do what I want.
Every 30 minutes.
I like how Sam talks into the
Hey guys! Hey! They can see me, right? Hey!
You can see me. I don't have a webcam. A webcam. Beer.
I see
it's good for your heart.
This is fun. I hope you guys are having as much fun listening to this as we are drinking right now.
Have you gone back and listened to the first two? Like, do you go back and listen to them?
I've listened to the first one. I didn't listen to the second one.
What do you think? Shitty?
I thought they were good.
Yeah.
I thought the second one kind of drug on.
It was a little.
It was a little
slower.
laggy. Yeah.
Let's talk about the podcast on the podcast. You want to do that?
Yes. Let's get
Justin, what is your opinion from Atlanta?
Sitting at work.
Caller from Atlanta, Justin.
So how did you get into comedy?
I used to fuck Robin Williams.
I used to fuck his arm.
Robbie Williams, he's an awesome singer.
I like when he takes off his skin.
What I was going to say though
I was
is
walking down the street in New York City and a woman saw me and said, "You shouldn't wear fur," and I was like, "It's my arms." Fuck you. That's one of his jokes. It's funny.
Yeah. Mrs. Doubtfire.
Dude, I fucking love that movie.
All
right, let me ask this question.
a good movie.
Right now, not dead or in the past. Right now, live
Bill Burr.
comedians. Who are your favorite
Bill Burr.
stand-up acts? Top 3.
Bill Burr, Louis C.K., and John Mulaney are my top 3.
All right. Yours.
Bill Burr, Hannibal Buress, and I would probably say John Mulaney, probably
He's fucking
CK.
good, man.
Like third, it gets it's
3. You only get 3.
Well, like 3's time.
It's hard,
but,
man. It's really hard.
Fucking Bill Burr, man. That's like that's
Bill Burr's my beacon, like for
like,
around
what you got,
comedy.
Justin?
Like,
Rory Scovel, Pete Holmes, Todd Glass.
Okay.
Yeah,
My top 3.
I love all those guys.
Like on Pandora, I got Rory Scovel, but my top 1 is Louis C.K. Then I would say I like Hannibal Buress, but I would go Rory Scovel. Number 3, T.J. Miller.
Yeah, TJ's great.
I love all those. But like, man, I don't know. Like, my comedy's nowhere near Bill Burr's comedy. Like, as far as the
but he's been doing it for 15 years, man.
But, yeah, I mean, like same style. But god damn it, when I hear that guy
he's so
talk,
fucking good, man.
Oh my god, I love that fucking
his
guy.
cadence and like the way he
and
talks.
It's like the shit he talks about is just like, yep, it's so simple.
You mentioned the Pitbull thing earlier. That's one of the best jokes ever.
Oh my god! It's
so
like,
good.
or like when he's talking about like, what happened to dogs' balls? You know?
Do you guys remember dogs have balls?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, yeah.
It's like, pedophiles are giving us a bad rap. You know, it's like, I like kids. You know,
Louis C.K. is like my top. But then Bill Burr, in terms of like what I want to talk about and what he is the guy.
Bill Burr, like on that
the
so Comedy Central Night of Stars thing that they did.
I watched it almost every night.
Oh my god, he fucking killed. And look, not in the sense of like open mic I killed kind of thing. Like anybody who's been doing open mics for 2 years and like celebrities, and they say I killed after a show. Fuck you. Yeah. You're a new comic. Nobody kills. I never take that
what is celebrities? I keep hearing about that.
It's a shit.
It's the new green room.
It's the new green room.
Yeah.
What happened to the green room?
It stopped. I don't know.
Yeah, Nikki Hirachi happened.
New ownership or something. Yeah.
No, Nikki Hirachi. Fuck
I'm not going to celebrities that said the nigger word, so I can't.
Y'all are just like flamethrowers.
Doesn't
no, I'm never getting booked on Nikki Hirashi's show, so I don't care.
Matt goes every week, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm never getting booked on a Matt show, so I don't care.
That guy.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
We just blew this shit up, motherfucker.
We'll talk about afterward along with this guy too.
Yeah,
so.
there's another one too.
Obama.
It's a state below us.
Oh,
yeah,
wow,
but you have experience in them too, so
girls.
Lena Dunham.
This is something.
I hate that fat bitch.
This is something.
Like you really? Okay, serious question. I've got to. Would you fuck her?
Yeah.
Would you fuck Lena?
Yeah.
You know who I would fuck?
Who?
The other one, Marnie. Ashley Williams. Brian Williams' daughter. No, I wouldn't fuck her.
Oh, the
Wayne Gretzky's daughter.
The hot one. Marnie.
The one that she's her roommate.
Yeah.
See, I've only seen like 6 episodes.
Jesus Christ, man, she is a knockout.
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
And the other one, the one that's like cutesy and crazy.
The one that.
I think I would fuck them all. Good talk.
It's like, hey, no, I just mean
guys, good night.
No, I just mean that in general. Girls,
girls,
fuck them all.
I fuck them all. Hey, guy, do you have a penis? Okay, yeah, all right. Well,
yeah, you see this? I'm gonna put it in your
conversation over.
I don't care if you're missing a leg. Oh, you talk about like epic comedy and that girl missing a leg. Like the first epic comedy show I went to,
that was
throwback. It's way better. It was
an hour. It's like an hour ago.
Oh, I forgot about this.
She still has one leg though.
The whole way, I'm going to the comedy
didn't grow
show.
back.
I'm going to the comedy show and I'm watching this girl in front of me. She's got this awesome ass, and I'm looking at her ass the whole fucking time. And then later, I see this woman who's missing an arm, and she's got like she has like a hook hand.
I remember her too.
Yeah. And I was like, holy shit, she's got a hook hand. She turns around, and I'm like, holy shit, that's that girl's ass. I was like, I did not see the arm at all because I was just watching that ass the whole time.
You had to have had that moment where like I'd still fuck her.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
I'd have to like hold that arm down.
Get an HJ.
You think she hooks herself?
I would definitely be hooked on her. Oh god.
You think she's a hooker?
Going down.
I would ask her, "What's your favorite movie? Is it Hook?" Hey, you ever seen the show?
I was thinking
puns, everybody. The puns.
Dude, I've seen like so many hot girls at Epic, and I've had a girlfriend every show that I've hosted.
Never seen a hot girl.
Or been. And
I have, but like every time.
She sat next to you that one show.
Every time
you got a
like,
picture.
Is that the one where you're like?
Yes. Every time they're there.
I do not know.
Every time they're there, I'm not on the show, or I've already gone up and they miss me. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
You should post like the picture.
Point at your name. This is my name. This is my name.
The picture for this podcast should be the one of you like, oh, there's that chick.
That was my profile picture for a while.
Yeah, it was great, bro.
That chick was hot. Like I was on the other side of you. I was like, God damn, that bitch is fine.
She wasn't that hot.
No, she was pretty hot.
That's why I started giving out posters at intermission. I was like,
to talk to
I'm
chicks.
gonna see who fucking comes up here.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because I always had leftovers, and I was just like,
you were at leftovers?
Yeah.
What did you say?
Thanksgiving.
No. What did you say?
I always had leftovers.
Oh, always had leftovers.
Posters, yeah.
Nah, that's a lot of pussy, man.
Yeah.
A lot of leftovers.
I would always buy more and be like, I'm gonna get.
Oh, you always had leftover posters. I was thinking you had leftover girls. I
can only fit so many in my bag.
I always had the runoff. That's what I do. I get ECH runoff. It's like, yeah, I've been on that stage before.
Once.
I had one good joke.
I'll tell you what, I had the most fun doing that epic comedy hour in December, and Guy was on it too.
That was a good show.
And Caleb was on
that
it.
Was, Kevin,
Talayla. It was a really good show. It was so much fun, man. I would love to be on another epic.
All right, well,
eventually.
Hey, I would love to be on another open.
Hey, nobody else be able to open anything. I don't give a fuck. Nobody else has the balls to ask Justin Ledlow, hey, can I be on another epic?
That's because I heard Justin said if you ask.
Next December. Hey, next to that.
No, I already know it's Tim that said if you ask, you're not getting on.
Really?
Well, I think it's talking about people like Facebook message him. Yeah.
No, okay, well. Look, podcast asking. Next December.
Put me on the spot.
Next December, hey, pencil me in,
Oh my God, you're putting me on the spot, son.
I mean, I definitely want to. I'm glad Patrick and Sam are on this show, so we can get more.
You're going the wrong way.
Not me. Don't.
Yeah, Sam's never. He's on that no book list.
I don't book at all anymore. The only one that I've booked is July because it's a bunch of Atlanta comics that I want for the 2-year show.
Yeah.
So that's the only. And Craig, I mean not Craig. Craig's one of them, but Caleb is Craig's roommate. Apparently, I'm inviting. Caleb and Craig asked me to do it, and then they were like, okay, can Austin come? And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, well, I might as well just get Sam, this other girl.
Yeah. So
apparently an entire house full of people that live together are all coming over for that show. Yeah, I mean, I want to get more local people on it just to kind of help build up the scene.
I think that
there's been so many out of towners ask, and I'm just like, well, fuck yeah, of course.
The in towners, the Huntsville people, they push it. They're gonna put it on their Facebook. They're gonna talk to people they know. You give them flyers, they're gonna hand them out. You know, that has to you get people from Atlanta. Yeah, that's it draws a stir. People from Birmingham, draws a stir, Chattanooga, Knoxville, wherever. Yeah. But you gotta have a handful of local comics. I think.
Right. And I think, I don't know. Scott's got June, and he's got Luke Douglasfield's coming back for that. Jake's coming back for that. Yeah. And Bailey's on that one. People have been asking for Bailey for a long time.
I would ask for Bailey.
I would ask for Bailey if I didn't even run a comedy.
No, every night. Can I have Bailey?
Can I just have Bailey Clark, please?
No, seriously though.
Bailey, we have the same. Your last name is my middle name, so we're meant to be.
Bailey, I don't have your middle name, but go fuck yourself.
But he has had a lot of beers.
No, seriously, Justin. Next December.
Yeah, I mean, if we get a date, I don't know if we're booked for it.
I'm sure you will be.
Wow.
Dodging the question right here.
We're booked up.
It was not that shitty on December. Come on.
When you booked till July? August?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
no, we're not. I had to cancel the August date.
Why?
I know.
This last show, the March show was at least more than 200, wasn't it?
It was 226.
226.
Yeah.
That's a good show, man.
Yeah. Not quite as big a crowd as the homegrown show that me and Guy did.
Give me a month of advance. People
I can't talk.
People are gonna come out and see me on a weekend.
I had drinking too much. I don't know what happened.
I sold out that homegrown show.
You sold out.
I sold out. People came see me.
You bitch.
No, I'm joking.
Which one?
The first one.
Oh, the very first one?
The July homegrown. Anybody fuck a comedy groupie? Anybody fuck like a comedy?
Okay, that's where I was getting at. That's the story.
Doing comedy to get pussy is like being a paraplegic to get pussy. I don't fucking know.
Well, fuck you. I love fucking comedy groupies. They're like the best.
All right, so like I said, like every time that there has been a hot girl at Epic, I've been involved with somebody. So that girl that used to hang around with me a lot last summer, Janet, we were talking, and she came to the July Epic because, like, even though I'd moved to Atlanta, we were still kind of talking. And then she showed up, and me and her were talking. So after the show, this girl is like hanging around in the lobby, like just not really with anybody, just asking like where we're going and everything. You might not remember seeing her. She was fine as shit, and she like kept coming up to me like, so have you guys decided like where you're gonna go, blah blah blah. And I was like, I think we're going over to Lone Goose, if you want to come, join us.
That's the spot.
So we all went over there, and sure enough, she and some friends show up, and then I go over there, and Janet is with me this whole time, and I'm like fake boyfriend for Janet this whole like weekend. And this other girl, I'm not gonna say this other girl's name, she shows up, and I'm kind of like sitting around like flirting with her, talking to her and everything. And Janet's there, like, seeing all this happen. And, like, off to the side.
Chick?
Yeah.
Oh, that bitch. God.
Yeah, what?
She was so fine. Like,
oh, yeah, Janet.
I was like, goddamn, Justin's going to get a PJ from that
Janet's
chick.
smoking hot.
Are you guys, like, you see, like, chicks in the crowd, like, God damn it, I hope she's going to still stay here.
I can't see past, like, the second row when I'm on stage.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, totally.
But at Lone Goose, you can see all of them.
Yeah.
So Janet is like off to the side, like being non-confrontational, like not saying anything to me. I'm over there sitting with that other girl, my hand like on her ass in front of Janet. What?
No, keep telling your story.
I can't tell my story with this cross traffic.
You're with Janet.
Damn it.
So Janet like comes and sits next to us while we're sitting there, like just me and this other girl just like flirting, and this other girl goes, well, we're leaving, and then she looks at me and goes, so are you coming home with me or are you going with her? And I was just like, I said,
I'm taking the free pussy, goddamn.
And I said, look, you're really hot, and I want to go with you, but I am with her, and I gotta take her home.
Really?
Shit! Really?
So this little like comedy groupie girl gets up and goes, all right, see you, and then like gets up and just leaves because she. Oh no, she said no. What she said was, okay, I'm gonna ask you this because we're not in high school anymore. Are you gonna come home with me or not? And I was just like, oh shit. And Janet was literally like right fucking here, and I was just like, I'm with her, sorry. So I did like the sort of right thing. But looking back,
let me ask you this question.
Looking back on it, totally should.
You fuck that shit?
Did you fuck Janet?
No, actually.
See, like,
and that is a long ass, complicated story.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me about it. I know.
Basically, she's afraid of people with one ball.
Really?
No.
I know.
Never be afraid of one ball.
know. I mean, like,
it's better than two balls.
I'm a fat guy, but I know I could have gotten some comedy pussy. Oh, so many times.
Oh,
you did that one time.
That one time with Selena.
With your girlfriend.
When she came to that one show and
laughed. What I thought you were talking about? I thought you were talking about the bartender in Copper Talk.
No.
Is that her name? Is
that her name?
That's what I thought you were referring to.
No. Guys love his life. Should I not say her name?
Who?
Selena.
No, that's fine.
I mean, she's gonna be here, right? In a little while.
She's gonna stop getting some root beers.
Really? Fuck yeah.
Dude, this
she
podcast
is
has
awesome.
Been going on.
Hey, Selena, if you're listening, you're awesome.
2 hours now.
If God doesn't tell you that enough, I love you.
I should be glad to hear that. I'll tell her fast forward 2 hours and do it.
Oh man. So
well, you guys doing good?
Yeah, I'm trying to like. I was looking at your list and I was looking at mine. Like,
how long is your list?
All right. Here's the question.
Can you cross shit off already? I'm tired of looking at it.
All right. When did you start doing comedy? We talked about that. What made you want to do it? Did we talk about that?
We didn't do that. We didn't really what made you want to do it?
Okay, can we go around and talk about that?
Yeah. Why are you looking at me?
I don't know. Justin, what made you want to do it?
What made you want to do comedy?
I'm stupid as hell. That's why I wanted to do it. I was like,
I
already have
about your friends.
I already have a dumb life. Yeah, I mean, like a little bit of that, but it was more like, I mean, I've always been like into it. Like my dad, like me and him listened to Richard Pryor like a long time ago. My dad introduced me to Pryor like very early on, because my dad, like when I was in high school, I'd go out like at night and stuff, and he'd be like, "Be back at 11 o'clock. You can tell time, can't you, motherfucker?" And apparently that's a Pryor joke.
Yeah,
I didn't know that, and then Dad told me, and then I saw that bit. So
let's go hang out with your dad.
my dad's fucking awesome.
Well, no, that's the thing. Like, I think that was the way it was for me. Like, connecting with your parents through comedy.
My parents were supportive as shit. They came to every Epic.
That's awesome.
And I like had reserved.
The way it was for me was like the first thing I ever saw comedy wise was Seinfeld. Was like I was in first grade.
Seinfeld was a big one for me.
And it was just like I didn't understand what the fuck they were talking about, but my parents were laughing their ass off.
Yeah.
And I was like, if you guys
already?
freaking motherfucker bigger man. Anyway, but the thing was just like you guys are laughing your ass off. I love you. Like as long as you're laughing, like I'm enjoying it too.
Yeah.
Like that's the way it was for me.
We used to watch, for whatever reason, HBO used to play the shit out of Sinbad.
Yeah,
Sinbad, dude. Oh my god.
Me and Dad and Mom used to watch Sinbad all the time.
Yeah.
I have no idea why they played
it. It was on Nickelodeon.
My parents, my dad was big in comedy, but he wasn't supportive when he came and saw me at all.
Really?
Oh my god! Like I didn't hear like
your dad rape joke didn't
I mean, oh my god! It's like the one thing he commented was like, because I made a joke about kicking the microphone cord, which it wasn't even a joke. I just made a comment about it. He was like, yeah, everybody was doing that. And that's all he had to say about the whole thing. Not like, good job or way to go.
Well, after I started doing, because I started doing improv after I started doing stand-up.
And I was like, it was even more nervous because like you and Scott were there. And it was the first time I performed with y'all. My parents were, my dad and brother were there. It was at the 4-year one time. Like, and Sarah was there. Like,
your parents were there for that?
Yeah, my dad and, like, you even made fun of my dad and brother because they were sitting there.
Were they in the corner? That was I did not know that. Because, like, I got up there and it was like, holy shit, there's 2 people.
Yeah.
You made fun of me too.
It's like, that said something about you being fat.
Yeah. Have you been losing weight? No.
That's hilarious. That's so funny. But yeah, it's just like,
I didn't know what to say. Like, I saw you sitting over there and it was just like, well, if I'm riffing on people.
The fat guy, let's pick on him.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Oh, I could make even more jokes.
Like for my first remembrance, it's Robin Williams on like the HBO shit with like Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, Comic Relief.
Yeah, Comic Relief. And then my parents
Billy
forbid me to watch Andrew Dice Clay. All of his specials to do on HBO. And because they told me not to watch him,
you wanted to watch.
I would wake up, like I would go in the living room at like 1 o'clock in the morning and fucking watch Andrew Dice Clay.
I remember repeating like the whole nursery rhyme stuff to my parents, and to all their friends. All the time.
This is my thing. Like my parents have never heard me swear ever.
Wow.
I'm 30 years old, and so I'm like, don't come to any of my comedy shows, and I feel bad. Like
they live here.
No, my mom lives in Nashville. My dad lives in Chicago.
Gotcha.
But they want to come. Like, they want to support me. When I was in Chicago, I did a comedy show up there. My dad was like, hey, I'll drive you to the comedy show. I was like, no, I'll take the bus. Don't worry. I'm good.
What's the deal? Like, how come
I got a grandma joke. She's Buddhist. I don't want to do that joke in front of her or have it recorded at any point in time.
Your mom rape joke.
No, that's your joke. And then just any joke I have with swear words, I want to do it for my mom. Just because I respect them, I've never sworn in front of them.
I've never done.
I feel bad about it, but it's just a thing, man. Like,
all right.
But if I want to advance my comedy career, I'm gotta accept the fact that my family's gonna hear me say shitty things, and they're gonna be disappointed in me. That's the life of a comedian. I think.
Fuck your family.
My parents.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. They raised you.
Fuck
them.
What's the deal with family?
I made my parents pay to get into every Epic. It wasn't like you're not coming. And like they were like first.
It's like I'm gonna get $1 of that.
First few times they were just like, do we have to pay to come in? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, really? And I was like,
how do you think I'm gonna pay everybody else?
Yeah, because it's going to the comics. It's not like I'm just getting this and pocketing it and be like, all right, thanks, mom and dad. So, and they understood. Like they were cool about that.
This is something I want to say. The Epic show in December I did was the most I got paid to do comedy.
Oh yeah.
Even for any show I've ever done myself. Any Comedy Mayhem, I've never got paid. Homegrown, I've never got paid more than I've done at Epic.
At the Homegrown.
And and so Epic has a good thing. I look, Thaddeus, I'm sorry, but Epic is Epic is the best show in Huntsville, and you should come out and see that shit.
Truth, yeah, it's true.
It's the real deal.
Does he not come? Does he not come to the shows?
He works a lot.
Oh,
he's got to work.
He's a hard worker guy.
Yeah.
But no, he kind of took offense to the fact you guys posted. Someone posted.
Oh yeah,
Epic is the best comedy show in Huntsville.
It was that Huntsville magazine. I posted a picture of.
Yeah. Okay, for one thing, I'm responsible for that because I said Epic Comedy Hour, Huntsville, Alabama's best comedy show.
But it
called it that before he started Homegrown.
But it's hyping it up.
The joke was it's the only comedy show.
Yeah,
so
it has been for the past year at least.
Yeah, I mean, I'd had that like as a little tag.
The thing is, like in doing like I did real estate for a while, which I've done a little bit of everything. You gotta puff the goods a little bit, even if it's not true. You gotta say it is.
Look, we've had. It's not like every Epic has been amazing. The May show that you guys came to, I felt like fucking sucked. I felt like May was
the first one I ever
Who was on
saw.
that show?
That was Florida.
Jake.
You guys suck. Jake was amazing and Joe killed it, but I felt like that show just like was very.
No, Jake Head, you're awesome. I'm sorry.
No,
I love Jake, man. I want to get him on.
Jake's another one of those friendly dudes. It's just like every time I see him, it's just awesome.
I like Jake.
I've only seen him once, and I've had some communication with him over Facebook. But he's like a really like awesome dude. Like seriously, he's funny. Without even trying to be, he's funny. Like he can say anything. It's fucking funny.
And he's also one of the guys I respect a hell out of comics who go to open mics and they stand there and they listen to the performer.
Guy Frizzell.
Every time I've been
liking everything.
Every time I've been to an open mic and Jake's there, like he's over there standing there like laughing and stuff. Like when I bombed my ass off at that open mic a couple weeks ago, he was laughing at some of the things that I said. So
he was laughing at you bombing.
Probably, which I totally understand.
Dude, I'm really. Here's my bottom line, like for everything comedy, ever since I've started doing it for the past 10 months, is I'm happy that I'm started in a scene that is like everybody doesn't, for the most part, people don't talk shit about each other, but it happens. We're
That's
human.
all the only talk shit.
The only reason that like even a little bit of it has come up tonight is because I haven't said any of this stuff before. Like if I've said anything that has like maybe rubbed anybody the wrong way, it's only because I haven't said it at all. And trust me, if you're listening to this and you think that like I'm being a dick, I'd say this to your face. I really would. It's nothing that I don't tell you.
That's the way I feel.
And the only reason I never said anything to Daniel about the whole thing with like emailing Joe was because I thought it was fucking hilarious, and it wasn't even. And Joe thought it was funny. We were like, "Really, dude?" Like it wasn't even anything worth bringing up. So.
That goes back to the whole Jared Harris thing on the comedy what was it?
Comedy Go-Go.
Comedy Go-Go.
Yeah.
Like you're 2 years in or whatever. You have no right to have an opinion about someone who is a touring
He's
comic.
been doing this for
10 years or 7 years. You know, like you have
true.
no right to have an opinion about them because they put in the work. They might go up and have a shitty night, in your opinion, but that's your fucking opinion.
Yeah.
Wait, let me. Alright, I'm not gonna. We're gonna end up rehashing shit. So
No. We're still going, dude. We're 2 hours into this shit.
So let's go. This is a marathon podcast. I've said it 5 times. Let's keep doing this. Guy, talk more. This is like with special appearance by Guy Frizzell's Laughs. That's it.
I like that.
I like listening to other people talk. You know,
I do too.
I don't like I can talk shit constantly, but like as far as like important shit to say, I don't have enough confidence in myself.
Say some important shit. No, I feel bad because like I think me and Justin kind of had a sidebar here for like 30 minutes of this podcast.
I don't care, man. I don't care as long as people talk. I don't give a fuck who's talking.
Is that like a bar over there?
Yeah, we have. There's a mini bar over here. We have little tiny things of Jack Daniels.
Little tiny dicks too.
Oh, little tiny balls.
We stick them.
Little tiny ball.
We stick them in the shot glasses.
But no, like this has been like this has been a scene that like really just kind of came out of everybody just like helping each other.
Like I thought the Huntsville comedy scene would take 5 years to develop.
To get this far.
But yeah, but like that's the reason why I'm like, man, I gotta bail. I gotta go to Chicago, and I seriously was like, man, I gotta fucking get out of here. But I've seen over the past like 6 months, I would say 6 months.
Are you not going?
I still
planning on going?
No, it's still on the line for me. Me and Sam were discussing going there at one point in time.
I just didn't get as much taxes back as I thought I would. So.
Yeah, and you're in high school and you don't want to do this, you want to do that.
I didn't realize you were a fucking pussy, so you don't do it.
Chicago. I used to want to be an architect. I used to want to be a professional wrestler. I used to want to be
fucking wrestling. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, wrestling.
Look, Chicago's still on the line for me. I think there's a possibility of me going there this summer.
Yeah.
This summer in particular, like at least like a 4-month span of me going there.
You got family.
I got family there, so it'd be easy for me to transition into it. Yeah. But what I'm seeing from the Huntsville comedy scene is, it's growing. It's getting bigger. I'm seeing everybody buy into it. For a while, I felt like I was like the only one. Like I felt like I was like Comedy Mayhem. I was pushing shit. I was pushing your shit.
Right.
Everybody's thing. Well, and now I'm seeing like Sam Ashby, and Patrick Cunningham, and fucking Matthew Tate doing his own open mic, and everybody just like buying into the whole scene as one, and that's what everybody needs to do. Just and as it keeps growing, I'm like, yeah, I'm into this shit. I can back off a little bit and not do as many things. I see like Scott possibly getting a thing going on, and a lot of other things going on that, and like Sam talking about booking a show. That's what Huntsville needs. We need to rival like Birmingham. We need to make Huntsville the new Birmingham as far as Alabama goes. But we're nicer. So anybody who's listening from like Nashville or Mississippi, Atlanta, Georgia,
come
to Huntsville.
Mississippi at all?
Mississippi Blue, man. He's taking all those jokes like he's
honestly I can't even name a Mississippi city other than Biloxi, and that's like way.
Tunica. We were listening.
Starkville.
I don't know, Jonathan, if you heard it, but like the Ryan Sanders Harrison. They're talking about Hattiesburg.
Yeah, Hattiesburg.
Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Apparently, it's got a good scene too.
Really?
Yeah, Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
I have never heard that.
I've never seen those in Tunica.
I've heard
whatever. Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, just getting these untapped comedy scenes.
I think like this time last year, there was rumors going around at where I was working that we were going to be shutting down, and then I got to be like, I don't know if I'm going to stay here. I don't know what's going on. So I quit putting in effort of trying to get anything going except for Epic. I was like, obviously I'm going to keep booking this and do that kind of thing. Yeah. But like it was really around this time last year, or maybe even a few weeks prior, where stuff was coming up like we were probably shutting down the company, blah blah blah. And I knew that if they did shut down, I wasn't going to stay here because I wasn't going to be able to find a good enough job. And they had already once they finally said, and it was like mid-April, late April. They'd said we are going to shut the company down. They offered to help me find something in Atlanta, and I was like, "Oh, fuck it, I'm going, I guess," because I wasn't going to be able to find a good enough job around here. Yeah. And at that point, I was kind of like, "Well, I can't really do anything. Like, I'm not going to put any effort into anything because I'm about to leave." So, I think I had worked on getting an open mic going. Finally got one going. It was going to be in Providence. It was going to be at this coffee shop. Mm-hmm. And then the week before it was about to get started, they shut down the coffee shop. And after that I was like, fuck it, I'm not finding anything. And that was in January of last year. I was so fucking pissed because I was like, here I am trying to find something, and then it fucking falls out. So I think I got disillusioned on that front. And then I don't have any contacts. He knows a bunch of people. I don't know
You just gotta do
his
it,
way of knowing people, man. That motherfucker, he just gets out there and fucking emails constantly.
Yeah, see, I just never did that. I just never
talking good shit about you, motherfucker.
about how you know everybody and book things easily, and how you can set up open mics and shit like that.
Keep trying.
But you told me you just say no. You just say okay, that's fine.
No is the first key to a yes.
Yeah. What do you mean?
When someone tells me no, I tell them why they shouldn't say no.
And then I don't have that attitude. You're saying no. You're saying no to a business opportunity.
If I went to somebody and said, "Hey, I think an open mic would work great in your place," and they told me no, I'd be like, "All right, thanks for your time," and then I'd go to somebody else.
They have to tell me no 3 times.
See, I can't do that.
No, fuck them. What am I going to get beyond send them like 15 messages?
Did you see?
You get no again.
Yeah, no again.
Yeah. Have you checked your Facebook lately where Barrel House is like, come book your parties here?
Yeah, I saw that.
It's like, yeah, you fucked up. You fucked it up.
Dude, how about last night we were there on a Friday night and they had what was it? What kind of rockabilly band on a Friday night? They were loud as shit.
Yeah.
Which Barrel House? Okay, sorry Barrel House, but you don't have the best acoustics. We've dealt with that with the comedy. Yeah. I told you how you should rearrange your shit, and you did it. But for comedy, we had more people at both shows in comedy than you had on a Friday night, and that was a Tuesday and a Wednesday night. You guys made $1,000 off your bar at our comedy show. You guys need to have Comedy Mayhem back. And
what was
they're not listening, but this is the thing. Every one of you guys in the Huntsville comedy scene, go to Barrel House, their Facebook page, and tell them, hey, where's the comedy?
Oh, I have.
No, I'm talking about from this point, when you hear this shit, tell them. If
If
you're still listening to this podcast, Nobody, tell them.
2 hours and 10 minutes in.
Well, let's wrap it up soon.
No.
I'm cool with wrapping up.
Can we still drink?
I have to go home tomorrow. Yeah.
Can we still drink after this?
I gotta go home tomorrow too.
Okay, look, go to Barrel House on Facebook. Tell them, look, we want Comedy Mayhem back. I've talked to them about trying to do a patio show this summer. It's gonna be awesome.
I think that would be excellent.
On like Saturdays, midday.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing shit. Come out to our comedy shows. Tell Barrel House that it's gonna be the shit in Huntsville. That if they have Comedy Mayhem back, you're gonna buy beer, and that's all they care about. But chicken and waffles are awesome there too, as well.
It's all about getting people in. I mean, that's really all it boils down to. I mean, that was my point earlier about Epic. When I had 260 people show up to the first show, Flying Monkey was like, "Oh, you can bring that many people out? Please do this again."
Yeah.
So I mean, it didn't even matter if like the comedy wasn't all that great because that first show fucking blew.
Yes.
Well, it's like that couple was talking to me.
You had Landon Trawler on there.
Oh God.
It's like that couple was talking to me about like it's just something different. Like it's something that Huntsville doesn't. Yeah, it's something that Huntsville never does.
I can't tell you how many people I have been walking out of Epic and like I'll be like, hey, thanks for coming to the show, and they'll be like, man, there's not a lot of this going on in this town. This is really cool. And it's like, thank you. Like I know
we're
that.
going to keep doing this. Yeah. Yeah,
so that's why I like trying to plug the Facebook page and all that kind of stuff. So make people be aware.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot beyond what goes on in the VBC and who they see. Like a lot of headline acts.
Merrimack.
Yeah, Merrimack. Like I contacted them trying to book some stuff for like some real like the what's those guys from Super Troopers? Those guys.
Oh yeah, Kevin and Steve.
Yeah, those guys are awesome. They're like, dude, we're booked up for the rest of the year. And it's hard. Like that would be awesome to do a thing at like either Merrimack or even at the Flying Monkey if they were willing to have it. I even messaged Flying Monkey, but like you said, they take forever to get back. I'm looking for a June date. They haven't even got back to me.
The Monkey's management is a little bit off.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of run-ins with them that I've had like conversations with Anna Sue just having to be like, okay, this was wrong here, you did this wrong, we need to work on this, and she's been good about working on stuff. The very second Epic Comedy Hour, we get to the theater and she doesn't unlock the theater until 7:30.
Yeah.
And the fucking show starts at 8.
You gotta do sound check.
I was like, how is this thing not unlocked? We're paying that little rent that you pay for that covers. For somebody to come and
do the sound,
and be like a manager of the theater, and then somebody to be in the sound booth, and then now I'm hearing like cash isn't there for some of the sound booth times, and it's like, well then I don't feel like I should owe you 30%.
I've had to do the past
two. I feel like I should owe you maybe 15%.
The past two epics I've done the sound for.
Yeah, and see if that trend continues, I'm gonna get Scott or Tim or somebody to talk to me and say
they need to knock it down like 5% or something.
Yeah, you can't if that's because on their website it tells you. This 30% or $200, whichever is greater, covers somebody being up there and all that stuff. Well, if you're not going to supply somebody, then I'm not paying you for that.
Yeah.
So, and the only problem is they don't make you sign a contract, so it's
not
your word
legal.
It's theirs.
Yeah.
So
Anna Sue she's tolerant, but even at like the Monkey Speaks, the first Monkey Speaks I did, this is what she said to me after the show. She goes, if you're going to go up there and do stand-up, This is a writer showcase.
Yeah.
So
like,
don't go up there and do
writers.
comedy that you've heard on TV before.
Like, I didn't
And
do
my
comedy.
reaction to that was, well, thank you for thinking that my
It's
comedy
good
should be on
enough to be on
TV.
Yeah.
But I wrote
That's
that
awesome.
shit. But we'll do poems next time.
I'm gonna
And-
go up there and do fucking Bill Burr's.
No, there's a guy who got up there and he literally did Dimitri Martin's like a complete set from him the first night I went there.
I read from Dimitri's book one time, and I read from Patton's book one
Yeah,
time.
reading from a book's different. He got up there, had the stuff
Did he have like a
memorized.
drawing pad and stuff?
I'm gonna go there.
No, he got up there. No, on top of that, he did a Bo Burnham thing. He's like sat Indian style in the middle of the stage and did a Bo Burnham bit
He's fucking.
in the middle of
Bernie
it.
Mac, but
Okay, Jay Collier,
hey, pass me that one.
pass him that bong. Hey,
You
guy.
want a beer? Or anybody want a beer?
No, I'm good right now.
Yeah, I'm good.
You should go
Like,
there.
fucking, hey, for the record,
No.
Justin Ledlow is the most sober person here right
That's
now.
pretty much a fact right now.
Why do you?
Because
Sober.
when I got here and I was shitting, I was like, I don't want to fucking upset my stomach and I have to
Well,
get
hell
up and poop. Well, if I start drinking now, I'll be up in the middle of the night tonight shitting.
Oh,
I
what a
can't
baby.
I can't do that.
Beer makes you shit.
How
Yeah.
how
I
responsible?
have a weak stomach and I get drunk very easily. Very
Hello,
easily.
Sam Ashby.
I'm just a skinny motherfucker, so. Have a small.
Ladies, Sam Ashby and I
Ladies.
are very easy drunks. Come see Sam at the next such and
What up,
such
T-Cell?
show and buy him drinks.
They're into the cougar.
Comedy.
T-Cell, I honestly, there's at some point I want to go see T-Cell and just be like, just suck my dick and get it over with. Just do it.
All
She did
right.
a bit about
She
lube.
has said that to me like ever since I've met her. Like,
Yeah, she wants to suck your dick.
I'll come suck your dick. You know.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like,
T-Still like had a really good bit on one of the Comedy Mayhem shows about lube. About like peppermint schnapps flavored lube. And I was like, God damn, I never had
why
that.
has nobody invented lube
That
that
sounds
tastes like alcohol?
awesome.
That's a pretty
Oh my
novel
gosh.
idea. Because I don't know if you guys have ever tasted. I'm kidding.
Who, us? No.
I
Weird.
tasted lube.
You tasted lube?
Dick lube.
You go to Pleasures and just like open up bottles and pour them in your hand.
I
Ice
can
cream in your
swallow
mouth.
this.
Oh, I was listening to Bert Kreischer on You Made It Weird.
Oh fuck! I've
yesterday.
been meaning to listen to that.
Oh god, it's
You
so
made it
fucking
weird?
Good, yeah. Bert
He's
is
awesome, man.
hilarious.
He's-
I love
yeah.
Bert.
Fucking
I can't do
his
it.
laugh.
No, you can do it.
Yeah, his laugh.
So,
is awesome. Yeah.
He said like one of the things that he loves to do, and I don't know why I just thought about this, is he likes to go bowling with people in like maybe fourth frame, turn around and just go, "Hey, do your fingers taste funny?" Your fingers taste funny. And he says invariably, some fucking woman will put their fingers in her mouth and go, "Oh, they do taste kind of funny." He's like, "Yeah, it's like salt."
That's
Hey, bowling's
hilarious.
fun.
Dude, that's
I love
hilarious.
bowling.
Oh, we did that neon bowling or whatever. That was
Cosmic.
awesome. Yeah, cosmic.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
on top of
cosmic
that.
bowling? I did fucking cosmic bowling when I was in like elementary school.
Oh, you
I got
fucking
so much pussy back then.
baller. God damn.
Yeah, I used to figure this shit out when I was like, just
Fucking bumper bowling.
First time I ever fingered a girl on back when I used to be in church.
Octopus. Smell like octopus.
Oh,
It
I
did,
gotta
smell,
go.
did smell like
First
fish.
time I figured.
No.
Hadn't
last
smelled
week.
like fish for a week. On our way to Florida on a youth group trip.
Oh, youth group.
Oh
on
no!
the-
I gotta beat. First time I fingered a girl, my family, her family, watching Jurassic Park, the first Jurassic Park, at my house. We were on a couch. They're in the same room as us. She has short shorts on. I stuck my hand up her
my
short
dick
shorts,
just got hard.
and I was fingering her pussy. Oh my god, damn, man! It was so fucking great.
I'm about to
It wasn't-
one-up
It
you.
wasn't stinky.
The one that I did was
I'm one upping
smelly
you
as
right
shit.
now. First time I fucked a chick, we went fishing. Smell like fish.
That wasn't.
You fucked a
Hey,
fish.
you want to hear a stinky pussy story? I was like 10th, 11th grade. I was finger banging this chick.
I'd love for Selena to walk in right
She's heard
I
this.
would love
She's
her.
heard this.
Oh
story.
god, are you telling that again?
She's heard it. Man,
The
this girl-
Nuvaring.
She was this is not the Nuvaring story. This girl was like a grade below. So like she's 10th grade. Maybe she doesn't know how to take care of her pussy.
Oh.
Her pussy, like, you finger a pussy, then you do the smell.
Oh, of course,
you know?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's so fucking bad. So fucking bad. I stopped. I dropped her off. I moved my hand out the fucking window.
Aired it out.
No, I worked at Subway at the time. Instead of going home,
did it
I
smell
went
like
to
vinegar?
Subway, washed it with the high defected
Lava?
bleach and like orange, orange, like fucking soap. Man, it got me a free sub. But it was so fucking bad. I literally had to ride with my hand out the fucking window.
You mean her pussy smell like salt and vinegar?
It just smelled terrible. But I mean, like, fucking
What is
fifth grade girl. I mean, it's like they don't know how to take care of their
Right,
pussy.
right.
So
That
you
was
can't-
my first one.
Yeah, you can't take.
I fucked a chick. She was like 15.
But I was like, my first one, she was 12, and I was probably 13.
Yeah.
God damn it.
What is the NuvaRing story? Did you like go up
Oh,
with nothing on your
shit.
hand and like
This
came
is
out
good
with something
shit.
on your
No,
hand?
I was probably like 23, 24. Man, this chick I had a crush on for years, and we always make out. And then, like, stuff like that. She's heard the story, too. I thought she was coming in. And, like,
Double checking.
we finally started making out. I was back at my house. I was finger banging and shit. We were in a bed together. And I felt something in her pussy. And I'm like, what the fuck is
Oh
this?
my god!
I was like, what the fuck is this? I pulled it out and threw it. I pulled it out. And I was like, is this a hair tie? Like, is this like the thing? I was like, I don't care. I was so into this chick. I just threw it on the ground, came back to finger her. The next day, she's like, yeah, I'm missing my ring. And I was like, yeah, oh, that's what that was. I pulled that out. She had to go to the doctor and get a new one, like, replace split.
You know it's trash your pussy. I'm trying to pull it out.
I was so in love with that girl, like, I did not care. And she was like, she was a clean girl.
That's all the time we have for spontaneous humor combustion.
And that's the end.
We're not going to top
Peace.
that. We're really not going to
I
top
had no idea
That's the
what
best
that
story.
was. I never heard of a new ring then. You know,
Oh,
I mean,
man.
She was balling to get in the NuvaRing shit.
she was like,
I was going to say,
maybe
that's
a year
a
or two
luxury item.
older than I was, and
That's crazy.
yeah, I totally pulled that shit out and threw it on the ground like it was nothing.
Oh, I'm like a little kid when it comes to the fingering though. Like as soon as it's over, I'm just like smelling my hand. Like, is she good? Is she bad?
I don't even finger chicks anymore.
Yeah, now you don't really
I
finger.
finger
No.
It's called foreplay, son.
I finger shit.
No, I mean, look, if it's the first time I'm fucking them, let's just fucking get over with. If it's the second time, I might
I'll lead up to it.
like me talking shit is the foreplay.
See, I don't talk. I don't say a word.
You don't say
I don't
you're like
say
silent,
I'm
silent Bob.
And I've had girls like afterwards just be like, "You didn't say anything." I'm like, "You fucking loved it too." So
I hate when like chicks all they do is talk the whole time.
I've never really encountered that. But
And
I
it's
hate
like
when
going,
they- I just hate when they.
I'm like, shut the
Yeah,
fuck
that
up.
does get a little old.
I'm fucking you. I don't need like my dick's already hard. I don't need that
After a
shit.
while, it sounds like you want to be like, "Are you faking that?" Like,
Yeah,
just stop. If
it
you're faking
is.
just
It's
stop.
fake. Fuck you. Goddamn. Bitches. All of you
faking
bitches
shit.
out there. Stop faking shit.
Because you know the four of us are going to fuck you at some point.
All
We're
four
just
of
trying
us-
to give you a heads up.
Look, it gets hard at like snapping your
I probably
fingers.
already fucked you, but
Guys pulled your new ring out twice, and I'm probably gonna fuck you and get you
Oh,
pregnant.
man.
So get ready for that shit.
All right, well, I got to take another doo.
Really? Are we going like Sans?
Let's close it up.
Justin
real quick.
Ledlow? No, let's not close it up.
Yeah, let's close it up and talk shit about stuff.
Okay, about
All
like
right.
what you wrote on a notepad like 2 hours ago.
Maybe so.
Okay, let's do
Or
it.
whatever else. Hey, so
Any more questions?
No, I think all the questions.
You went through like all 28 questions in like.
Yeah.
I mean,
2
it's
hours?
Really quick.
All right, guys, wrap it up. Sam, wrap it up.
Guys, I just want to say thank you for having us. This is my podcast.
Who talked very little?
Yeah, seriously, I don't give a fuck though. I don't care.
It's like the Justin Ledlow and
That's
Tommy
fine.
Mayhem hour.
Yeah, I don't
Stop
care for
patting
shit.
yourself on the back.
Thanks, Jonathan, Justin Ledlow, and Guy Frizzell for
You didn't say my last name. Fuck you.
Jonathan Craig.
Sam
Okay.
Ashby, everybody.
Hey.
Host.
Hey, let's start over. Jonathan Craig, Comedy Mayhem, Justin Ledlow, Epic Comedy Hour, Atlanta. Guy
know it all,
Frizzell,
man.
where the
Like
fuck he
Tyler
does.
He likes sucking dick.
Sam Ashby. Y'all have a good night.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Peace, everybody.
I'm gonna go take a dump, wipe my butt.
Pussy dicks!